Well, folks, you can feel the energy here tonight as the South City Warriors take on Woodside. I'm Jonathan Dio alongside Ricardo Martel, class of 2001 on the NFHS network. Ricardo, how you doing, bud?
John, it's a pleasure as always to be here on the last night game of the year. Can't believe it went this fast. As usual, I feel like we're just getting into the swing of things, and then they cut the power on us.
Just when you start to feel like you know what you're doing or have some sort of an idea, then it's time to call it quits.
I know. Just getting my sea legs under me. Coach Sadu filling in for Coach Nico tonight as the eye in the sky, so we miss Mr. Sadu here, miss his awesome football presence, but we will try to continue on without it.
That's right. He's controlling the South City drone from up on top of the roof.
That's coming, man. There's a club. I think I'm going to announce it at some point. I think there's a robotics club, and I have to assume that drones are a part of that, or should be a part of that.
Yes, the ubiquitous drone. So what do our listeners at home need to know about this game tonight?
You're going to say, what do they need to know about drones?
What do they need to know about drones? Tell me more about drones.
Well, close proximity to SFO, so I got to think that the laws are a little tight on drones.
Well, according to the FAA, you can't fly a drone more than 400 feet. There was a lot of close calls with commercial aircraft, so last year around Christmas time they actually enacted that law.
And that's fair. I think that's fair to ease up on the drones.
Makes sense.
John, the Woodside Wildcats are coming into the night 0-3 in league play, but don't let that fool you. They lost to Squeaker, to Sequoia, their rival, and they lost at Half Moon Bay. Half Moon Bay's in first place. They're undefeated. They're awesome. And they lost a very, very close game to the Kings Academy at home last week. And as you'll recall, the last time we were here was against the Kings Academy. We opened up the season with a nice big-time win against them.
A low-scoring affair, if I recall.
Low-scoring affair.
I think there was 84 total points that night.
That was an awesome game. But since then, the Warriors have stumbled a little bit. They had a good game, a close game against Sequoia, which they ended up losing. They dropped 14 early first quarter points. But then as the game went on, it got kind of weird. They ended up losing 28-14. Most of those points came in the fourth quarter. So the kids are finding their footing. Right, Mr. Orlick?
And you folks at home might be able to hear in the background the voice of Aaron Boyd, who makes a lot of this happen impossible, and he is our stadium announcer, announcing the starters for South City, which we can get to right before the first snap. But I do recall South City now is 1-3, if I'm not mistaken, in league play. So I'm sorry, 1-2. So they really need to get a win tonight, clearly.
That's right. And they're going to have a good chance against this Woodside team. I think you're going to see a lot of offense from both sides. I don't know if it's going to be as crazy of a high-scoring game as what we've seen this year, but I think it's going to be close, but the Warriors have a good chance to come away with a W tonight.
All right, we got our team captains heading to the 50-yard line here for the coin toss. We'll figure out who's got the ball first. Clear night, South City. It's about 62 degrees and winds out of the north-northwest, about 7 miles an hour. Not too windy, but, we could see a little bit more as the game time gets underway here. We know how the weather can change at the drop of a hat.
It got cold in a hurry yesterday.
You'd be carried away by a hat. Carry away your hat, so to speak.
Blown away hat.
Should we talk about our sponsors tonight? And by sponsor, I mean
people we bought stuff from on the way over here.
People we bought stuff from that make it possible for us to have the energy to do this.
So the Pete's on Grand Avenue. Thank you very much for providing your coffee. That was great. Thank you.
It's delicious. I believe it's Major Dickinson blend or Cafe Domingo. We haven't quite figured that out yet.
I'll get back to you on that. Mr. Orlich is saying Cafe Domingo.
You know what? Mr. Orlich does not believe me. He's actually double-checking my weather report from a moment ago. Really disrespectful, sir. He's got his phone out. He's like, actually, the wind's from the southwest, and it's 14 miles an hour.
Which weather station are you using? Because that makes a difference. Weather Underground, folks.
Weather Underground's where it's at. We got Jim Orlich here as a longtime South City teacher and steps in often to help with the games. He's saying that it's an app for millennials. So
okay.
I guess you could kind of say all apps are for millennials.
Yeah,
or it was made by them. So.
By definition. Technically, we're millennials. We can claim millennials or Generation Y, I think.
You know what?
Whichever one you feel more comfortable in.
How about I just vacillate between each one for whichever one suits me.
That's right.
In any given moment.
Hey, man, millennials are getting crushed. Nobody likes millennials. They're the problem with everything, according to Gen Xers.
Looks like Woodside won the toss, but they're going to defer to the second half, and they're going to go ahead and kick.
John, as you may remember, this Woodside squad athletic director, Coach Velskow, former South City.
That's right, Coach V. Folks, we're going to take a minute to take a break here to honor America. We'll be right back with your starting lineups.
South City Band.
And that South City Band, led by Mr. Talbert, another phenomenal job by this.
This band is
kids.
deep. We didn't have this
awesome.
in 2001, man.
No, they're awesome.
This band is fantastic, and they roll in force. There's like about 60 of them. Or was it 2 weeks ago? Came a little late. It was about 30 minutes before game time coming over here, and there was this crowd just coming, and they were I don't know what it's called, the musical term, but they just had like this kind of low pulse they were doing.
Yeah, it was cool. I know what you're talking about. I saw them lining up and doing their procession thing. It's pretty cool.
All right, as promised, we're going to have our starting lineups for South City. At left tackle, junior Shane Jason. Left guard, sophomore Leonardo Maldonado. Junior center, Urian Barraza.
Urian.
Right guard, senior Luke Cruz. Rick, why don't you take it from there from Brandon Peterson?
All right,
down.
number 50, Brandon Peterson. Number 2, Tyson Alapati. Number 4, Jesus Galvan. Number 47, Demetrius Gutu. Number 34, Carlos Solis. Number 8, Colson Pua. And number 1, Juan Morero.
As that Woodside kickoff really took a Woodside bounce. Looked like it was heading out of bounds. Kicked back in, and South City grabbed it. Took it out to the 30-yard line, where they'll be out for 1st and 10.
Well, I had some questions prepared for Coach to do, but I wasn't aware that he was filling in for Coach Nico tonight. But he did kind of mention some stuff to me to be on the lookout for this evening. I'll talk a little bit about that as the game goes on.
Right, South City 1st and 10. Tyson Alapati back, snaps it out. Pitches the ball out to the left side, turns to the corner for a 5-yard gain.
Gain of 4 yards on the play.
Don't listen to Aaron Boyd, our stadium announcer. It looked like 5. 4-yard gain from South City. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 6. And that was Alapati with the ball.
Well, John, the way the Warriors start tonight is going to be a big indicator of where their head's at. They're coming off a relatively big lopsided loss against Menlo. And I'll be curious to see how they bounce back this evening. I have no doubt that they'll come out with fire like they always do.
This game's going to test their mettle as there's a handoff. Pushing for yardage is Colson Pua, who, if I'm not mistaken, a few weeks ago had quite the game.
Colson Pua's called his name a million times tonight. He just bowled his way there for a first down. Great run.
41-yard line, and that run's good enough for the Warriors.
He's got that second effort really coming out of the backfield. Really
he keeps moving his legs.
you can really start to tell, especially in this high school game, the players who inflict their will upon others. As we've got some action on the field here and some whistles.
Looks like Juan Barrero's got an equipment problem, maybe.
Looks that way. They've called him out, and he's going to be replaced by number 43, Calvin Pua. Calvin with a K.
Calvin with a K.
Calvin with a K, Pua. He's stepping in while Juan Barrero gets that equipment problem underway, gets that fixed. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for the South City Warriors. Looked like a design quarterback keeper that was sniffed out right away by Woodside. Stop with after a gain of about a yard, so that's going to bring up 2nd and 9.
John, like I said, the Warriors coming off kind of a big loss. Woodside is going to watch the tape. They're going to try to emulate what they did. They're going to go to the air often.
All right, 2nd and 9. South City's kept it on the ground thus far. Handoff to the runner in motion there. Stop for a yard loss, or right back at the original line of scrimmage. Now was handed off to Jesus Galvan.
And that's too bad. It looked like he had a head of steam there, but he ran into a couple tacklers there.
Right, they set Galvan in motion, turned around and handed it off, but that was brought down immediately by Woodside.
I know our young quarterback here is raring to throw, so we'll see if they take the training wheels off this young man.
All right, that looks like it's going to be 3rd and 9 here for South City. Again, they've kept it on the ground thus far. See if they stretch this out. Galvan again in motion. Ooh, almost taken down in the backfield.
Looked like maybe that was a broken play. I wasn't sure quite what went on there.
Looked like big man number 77, Clint Sodair, in on it.
Loss of 2 yards on
so we'll have a chance to see fantastic Warrior kicking game.
Oh my goodness, Clint Sodair, am I reading this correctly? In on the tackle, senior, 6'5", 287.
Oh, good Lord. It's a big boy.
All right, South City back here to punt on 4th and 12. Oh, it's a high snap. Picked up off the ground, and South City trying to get a pass off there to do something with it. And that's a big special teams miscue, as Woodside's going to have the ball somewhere around the 25-yard line.
Well, that's my fault for saying this is the awesome special teams. It's like the first mistake of the season that I can recall. And even with that mistake, they did well enough to fall on the ball and not let anything weird happen there. Our kicker tried to make a play, but the right play ended up being to fall on the ball and give the defense a chance to get a stop going. We'll see how Woodside comes out on offense this evening.
Oh, that was actually really smart. It has an incomplete pass. It goes to the 40-yard line.
Oh, that is a good play.
Hence the pass. Turn around, try to chuck it at somebody. Smart move. In that situation. Oh, nice stop by South City immediately. Handoff from Woodside, sniffed out and brought down right at the 40-yard line. So I was nicely corrected there by Aaron Boyd. Because of the bad snap, the punter actually took the ball, checked down to a receiver, and threw an incomplete pass, which then took it back to the 40-yard line. Real smart heads-up play there.
That's what I'm talking about, a great special teams.
All right, Woodside back to pass. Incomplete.
And that young man almost threw the ball right into the hands of a Warriors DB there. Woodside's really lucky to escape that without an interception. Warriors probably want that one back again.
That pass was intended for Marcellus Chester Riley of Woodside. Quarterback Joseph King in the shotgun, back for the snap. He's looking to pass. Right side is up. He's got a receiver. Ooh, that was almost complete. The receiver went up and tried to moss it.
And once again, John, Coach Sadu was right on, and he said they'd go to the air early and often. And that's exactly what we're seeing tonight from this Woodside offense. They see something they like, and they're going after the Warriors DBs, try to keep them busy all night long.
Well, that pass was intended for Adrian Julian Johnson, 6'1", 160 junior. Wide receiver with some hops.
Yeah.
4th down, they're going to go for it. Another pass tipped at the line, but it's brought in by Woodside. Take it down for close to a first down. And absolutely, yeah, he's got a first down. Pass hauled in by number 16, Joseph Meha.
Pass is complete to Number 16, Joseph Mejia.
And that was a nice throw by Joseph King there. Put it right on the numbers. He had his guy open, and it's a nice conversion there by Woodside.
Looked like that ball was tipped at the line, too, but he had enough on it. Have to go back and look at the replay on that one. Handoff on the left side. He's got room. He's got one man to beat. Nice stutter step and stop right into the end zone for a touchdown on Woodside. Number 5, Marcellus Chester Riley brings it in, and the Warriors go down 6-0.
And that was indeed a very nice play by that young man to get into the end zone. Just waited him out. Nice rhythm play there. And, you know,
he really broke down that DB. He was trying to get him for a tackle.
And, you know, points off of a miscue. That's going to happen. The one thing you don't want is for these young men to start to get in their head that they're in for another long night or something like that, which, again, I don't think that's going to happen. They haven't played that way all year long.
Well, we have seen this South City team bounce back here at home as the kick is up, and it's going to be looks like it is good. Mike, that was up in the air for a long time. I thought it was going to be short, and that's 7-0 for Woodside. But just to kind of go back a few weeks ago to that game against Kings Academy, South City really showed a lot of resilience.
Yeah, they did. They hung tough, you know, and never gave up, and that's something we're used to seeing with these kids.
7-0, plenty of time left, 7:39 here in the first quarter. What's shaping out to be a lovely night in South City.
Speaking of plenty of time, John, South City's Pumpkin Fest is tonight. There's still about an hour left in the event. It's 4 to 8 p.m. I was there before the game. I won a little something from my daughters. It was a life-size plush version of Coach Sadu.
Wow, that sounds cuddly. I want to get one of those.
Yeah, it was beautiful. Very detailed. Very detailed.
I'll ask you later off air how detailed it was.
Too detailed.
Low line drive kick from Woodside, picked up by South City. Run across the middle, taking about 19 Woodside defenders with him up to the 48-yard line. Great run there by number 43.
It's Calvin with a K.
Calvin with a K. Pooh!
Yeah, he was excited to get the ball there and drag some Wildcats along there with him. So
Woodside might think twice before they kick it to him.
That's right. Here come the Warriors with another opportunity here on the offensive side of the ball.
1st and 10, ball at the 49-yard line. 2 wide receivers getting out set. Snap, pitch back. Looking to turn the corner across the 50, the 40, the 30. Pushed out of bounds right at the 40-yard line. Great run there by number 7, David Alapati.
Alapati looking like a track star out there with the nice strut to get an extra yard.
These kids hit hard, man.
Yeah, they do.
I winced from up here in the booth.
Yeah.
When he knocked him out of bounds.
31-yard run by Alapati.
That's a 30-yard run by Alapati. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for South City. South City driving, and this band is getting into it. South City with a ground attack, keeping it on the ground up the middle. Nice run there by number 8, Colson Pua.
John, you want to talk about imposing your will on someone. That's Pua not going down, refusing to get stopped there at the line of scrimmage, and essentially forced his way into a nice 5-yard gain on the play. Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
Yeah, it's a nice 5-yard gain, and he's not afraid of the Dwayne Johnson.
No,
give me the rock.
That's right.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Dwayne Johnson.
Dwayne seems like a nice fellow.
Yeah, he seems like a good dude.
You know, I'd like to have an adult beverage with Dwayne Johnson. Seems like a very nice guy.
As would I.
All right, snap, pitch back. South, slipped. Looking for some room there. There's a flag on the play as David Alapati was trying to find a corner and get down on the ground. And there's going to be a holding against South City.
Well, not what you want to see this close to the end zone. But penalties are going to be a part of the game, so we'll adjust and see what we can do.
Ten-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
That's going to be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
It seems like such a wasted penalty there, too, because the young man slipped and
26-yard
nothing was really going to come out of it.
It would have been nice if he at least broke it for about 20 yards.
Yeah, felt a little better. Make it worth it.
All right, 2nd and 15. Or check that. It's like about 2nd and 16 for South City. First down up there at the 10-yard line.
A little double reverse action.
Double reverse coming around
He's
the right.
got a blocker.
He's got a blocker. And that's number 1. Brought down at the 3-yard line. That was Juan Barrero. Man, he's got some speed.
He figured the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, so he just tried to bull his way into the end zone.
The fastest distance between 2 points is Juan Barrero, man. My goodness.
He stayed upright.
First down and goal, Warriors.
Tried to waltz in. Got the first and goal. The Warriors are in a good spot here.
I think they're going to pass. It's my guess. It's my guess. I don't think.
Go.
I don't think. Oh, well, looks like
Prognosticating.
they're going to punch it in.
They're just going to punch it in.
And that's a touchdown, Warriors.
Carlos Solis with another big-time run, something we've been accustomed to seeing all season long. Warriors ground game, legit.
Way to answer in about a minute and 45 seconds. Come right on back down the field and neutralize things.
Picking up that young man who got the defensive penalty. It's an afterthought now as they scored.
What do you think for the Bell game? We do this thing on the roof. You think we can run these cables
on
up
the
there?
roof? I think Mr. Boyd would have a heart attack if we took these things outside.
Just trying to think outside the box here as the kick is up and good.
5 minutes and 53 seconds.
And it is indeed all tied up. We got a brand new game here at South City. 7-all.
Woodside Wildcat 7, your South City Warriors 7.
Always enjoy seeing the cheerleaders out in force. Got the windbreakers on. And this move hasn't changed since I was here. I know this entire routine by heart.
You know what has changed though? It's you know, every generation's goal I think is to be better than the last, and these guys look fantastic. I mean, they're really squared away.
Yeah.
They got their moves down. You know, gosh, the football team and the South City cheerleading
Oh yeah,
squad.
man. The athletes too. They're not running on home run pies like we were in 2001. I mean, these kids are smart. They're educated. You know.
Home run pies and chalupas.
Home run pies and chalupas.
My favorite was the Baja beef chalupa.
Oh, that's gross. I don't like that,
That is Phoebe Osagara.
What was your order there? Because I know we
No, I don't go to Taco Bell. I'd go to McDonald's, get a mini meal deal. They had the mini meal deals back in the day, like a barbecue bacon cheeseburger or something.
Can you still make things bacon? Do you roll through and ask to
Can you
make
say
it bacon?
make it bacon? I'm the only one who uses that turn of phrase, I think, still.
I think I don't know. I can't remember the last time I went to the Mickey D's, but when I roll through, I'm going to ask them to I'm just going to order some small fries and ask them to make it bacon, see what happens. Okay, South City was getting ready to kick off there, and that 7-mile-an-hour southeast westerly wind knocked that ball over.
And we'll have Mr. Orlish check that between quarters here.
Let Mr. Orlish tell me that it's actually 12 miles an hour.
Rest assured, everyone, you'll get the facts.
Well, we are going to build a South City weather vane here at some point. As the kick is up, South City looks like there's a little bit of trickery. You tried to get a little onside action there.
And Nick Donovan there with the Wildcats did well to go up and get that ball. Not quite at its highest point, but he didn't wait for that thing to come down. He did a nice job to hold on to the ball. You would expect that out of a wide receiver, so kudos.
Kudos indeed. Back in my day, a kudos bar was a way to eat a candy bar and pretend like it was healthy for you. It's like, is that a candy bar? Nope, that's a kudos, my friend. That's a... It's not a candy bar. It's got some whole grains in it. All right. Handoff up the middle. Is a flag on the play by Woodside. Still on his feet. Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling to the 40-yard line. Great run there.
I think they're going to bring this one back, John. That hole looked a little bit too big there up the middle, but we'll see.
Marcellus Chester Riley doing his best Barry Sanders impression.
Looks like a chop block there.
He is. What is it? What's the phrase I'm looking for? He's got flight feet. Light on his fleet of foot. I think I was mixing my phrases.
Yeah, you were right there.
Light on his feet. How about
right
that?
there.
You know, I was trying to sound smart. That's what happens when you try to do too much.
You stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. You know, you get all hopped up on coffee and rolling pin donuts.
Good lesson, everybody. Stay in your lane.
Start trying to prognosticate.
Speaking of good lesson, John, the SAT practice test is going down tomorrow, Saturday at 1:30 at the South City Public Library. Not to be confused with South City High School, but the Public Library on West Orange.
Public Library, West Orange. SAT prep. Get into it. All right, so that was indeed a penalty on Woodside. The ball is brought way back here onto the 30-yard line. First down is at the South City 45, so they've got a ways to go here, folks. As looks like we've got some clarification for Woodside by the referees. And now we're ready to get underway. It's first down and a lot. Handoff, looking for room on the right.
Chester Riley with the ball.
That's Chester Riley. Marcellus Chester Riley once again with a short gain.
Chester Riley's got some moves tonight, John. He's running around pretty well thus far, giving the Warriors a little bit of trouble.
That's going to be a 2nd and 22. Yeah, I like his moves. He's quick.
2nd and 20.
Woodside back, looking to pass. Ball is up. Beautiful pass on the right side. Nice touch. Hauled in at the 40-yard line. Wow, that is
number 2, Adrian Julian
nice pass,
Johnson.
hauled in.
And that's right. That was a nice connection there between the quarterback and his wide receiver. I believe that was number 2.
Adrian Julian Johnson.
Nice play by the Wildcats there. That's kind of what we expected to see tonight.
Beautiful touch pass.
That's beautiful.
First and 10, Woodside.
Caught it in stride. It's a nice play.
There's a guy on the 49ers who should take note of that. 1st and 10, Woodside. Another handoff to Chester Riley, who cuts up the middle towards the right there and gets a nice little gain. He's taking off chunks, 4 or 5 yards at a time.
That's right. And when he gets going, that opens up the passing game. Although that being said, the Wildcat wasn't wide open on that big pass play a moment ago. But you do lose a split second when you look to the line and say, okay, is this a run? Is this a pass? What is this?
Chester Riley again, he's got a big gas tank cutting around the left. He's got one guy to beat. There's a flag on the play.
Chester Riley with the ball, flag down.
Knocked out of bounds around the South City 20. Let's figure out what's going on here with the penalty. It's like it might be in the area of holding. And indeed, it's going to be holding on the offense. That's going to take it back. Another drive killer for Woodside.
Yeah, some of those holes, like I said, look a little bit too big, suspiciously big.
Drive killer is probably not the right term, like a drive staller. They're still driving.
There you go.
2nd down and 10 yards to go for the Wildcats.
All right, 2nd and 10 for the Woodside Wildcats. Ball on the South City 40-yard line. 3 receivers, shotgun set, pass to the left. He's got a receiver. He hauls it down and brought down at the 1-yard line.
Pass is complete to number 16, Joseph Mejia.
And Joseph Mejia hauls it in. Great catch. This quarterback has got fantastic touch.
He displayed very nice touch there. And
1st down and goal for the Wildcats.
Yeah,
props to the Warriors, John, for not giving up on that play, giving the defense a chance here to make something happen, though it is on the 1-yard line. As number 16 there for the Wildcats is down. The aforementioned Joseph Mejia, we hope he's okay.
Joe to Joe, Joseph King to Joseph Mejia.
Band sounding good tonight, as per usual.
I wonder if these guys in the band actually even know what they're playing. If they can name
Rob Nen, do you think they know who Rob Nen is?
little Rob Nen, Smoke on the Water.
Giants could have used Rob Nen this year.
Well, hopefully Joseph Mejia is all right. He's being worked on here a little bit. As we're going to take a few minutes to pause. Hopefully it's just a cramp or something they can get worked out.
John, South City's PTSA and the faculty, staff, alumni, and friends of the Warriors are invited to attend the Blue and White Ball, happening on Friday, November 4th from 5:30 to 11 p.m. at the South San Francisco Municipal Building, where I used to take my piano lessons. Shout out to Miss Poby. You were great. I still play the piano as often as I can. I want to teach my daughters, all because of that awesome municipal building. It was good to me.
Also, they're always good for a good pancake feed. I was out there at a pancake feed a couple years back.
Sure.
And Joseph Mejia was able to get off the field in his own power. Might have just been a cramp or something, so it's definitely happy to see that as it's 1st and goal for the Woodside Wildcats.
Ball's at the 2-yard line.
Snap, handoff to Chester. He's through the middle, and it's a touchdown for the Woodside Wildcats. Chester Riley, way to reward the guy who kind of brought you down there. A couple of big passes, and Chester Riley's steady run game.
And he kind of went in there untouched, John, to be honest with you. He kind of waltzed in there. I mean, obviously, it's very close to the end zone.
Did that little stutter.
He still did the stutter. Didn't need to.
I don't know why I'm stuttering in here. Stutter stepping. No one can see me.
They can't see it.
Maybe they heard that my shoe like losing traction.
Let's see if the Wildcats can have an uneventful PAT this time.
And the kick. Oh, it's a bad snap. It's going to be no good. Yeah, that ball did not come out great. So unfortunately, Alex Roque, senior guard, defensive tackle, 6'2", 280, who's their kicker.
Yikes.
Only in high school football, am I right?
Yikes. This reminds me of Diego, who's quite a stocky fellow as our kicker, Diego Sanchez.
Snapchat your family and friends and tell them.
Pretty sure I've got a loose bone in my neck from one of those Turkey Bowl games from Diego Sanchez when we used to tackle each other with no pads.
They didn't let up on us, man.
That guy was my first version of a chiropractor. I remember he hit me once. I heard about 7 things crack.
Every year we would come here on Thanksgiving morning to play football, and every year we would be asked to leave by the groundskeeper like clockwork.
I think he was solely out here for us, and once we left, he was able to go home and eat turkey with his family.
Hang out, be with his loved ones. We would go to Denny's and eat, and be kind of full at Thanksgiving dinner. At least that's how I did it.
All right, here's the kick from Woodside as they take a 13-7 lead. Hauled in at the 12-yard line by South City.
Juan Barrero there with a nice run back.
With the run back.
The crowd here was anticipating something a little bit bigger, but he got tripped up.
36-yard line.
Hey, plenty good. They take it to the 36. Not a bad place to start off. Feeling South City's going deep, or they're going to stick with their run game.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, 1st and 10 for South City. Barrero in motion. Handoff up the middle.
Wow.
Big run by Pui. Knocks him over Woodside's defender like he wasn't even there.
Colson Pua just flattened that young man on his way to first down. It was a great design run play, man. I saw the motion. Let's see what this flag is about. Hopefully it doesn't bring that spectacular run back. But, John, the design there was fantastic. There were like 3 guys in the backfield. You didn't know who was getting the ball. The whole line was moving to the left. And before you knew it, Colson was 10 yards downfield, getting a full head of steam.
Colson again. The handoff, and Colson just continues to pound this Woodside defensive line. Wow. I mean, he hit that defender like he was one of those tackling backs in practice. Just went right through him.
And look at the form that Colson has there holding the ball. He puts it immediately in like the breadbasket. It's like, this is beautiful.
When we take a break here, I'm going to ask Coach to do with that kid benches because
9-yard gain.
How much you bench?
How much do you bench?
Emilio Estevez, ladies and gentlemen.
2nd and 1, South City driving, ready to neutralize this game. Handoff again to Pua.
Oh, there he goes.
Rumbling, bumbling, and making his way for a first down. It's going to bring up a first and goal for the South City Warriors.
And I think they're going to keep giving it to the young man. I think he's just going to keep getting the rock until he finds pay dirt. It's one thing I love about Coach Oka is that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he's going to stay with what works until it doesn't.
Keep it on the ground and keep it moving.
Warriors ball is at the 8-yard line.
Is Woodside going to take time here and
Woodside's
talk it over?
going to take a timeout and figure things out. We got with 3:06 left here in the first.
Wildcats, that's their first called timeout of the first half.
And, John, this is more or less what we thought. It'd be a high-scoring affair. Two teams hungry for a win, another win that they need in league play. And that's kind of what we've seen, a back and forth. Some good plays, some good runs, some good throws. We got 2 great teams here this evening.
Well, I hope you're not hungry for Santino's Bertolucci's because we're not going to make it by the 10 p.m. cutoff time with this high-scoring affair.
That's why we have Jacks.
Also, the junior class is selling T-pumps for $5.
We've got our Southwest Airlines flyover.
Sponsored by Southwest.
For $1 or a box.
Do they still say "want to get away"? Is that still a thing that they do?
I'm a fan of Southwest. A lot of people don't like it. I like it. You know?
Who doesn't like Southwest?
I've heard things, man. You know,
their seats are comfortable. They're like that crappy leather stuff, but they get the job done.
I wouldn't fly to Uzbekistan on there or anything.
No, nor would I. Yeah.
If you're going down to Phoenix or San Diego or something,
I'll fly to Love Field in it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. you know, your bags fly free. South City looking to fly for a touchdown here, 1st and goal. Ball on the 8-yard line. Snap, handoff to Pua. Left side, he's got room. He's going to walk it in. Touchdown, Warriors!
And John Calvin Pua there in motion. Picked up a nice block there to open it up and let the other Pua run right in there and find pay dirt. And I think he was, you know, a one-man marching band here on this drive. So nice job by the Warriors to answer back and tie this thing up.
Never get tired of hearing that South City rallying cry there.
So let's see if the Warriors can take the lead here on that PAT.
That's why special teams are so special. Good snap.
More special.
Oh, and the kick is blocked. Number 22 from Woodside looked like he came unopposed around the corner and was able to get right in front of the kicker there. So we're going to be all tied up. That was Nick Raleigh.
John, looks like we have a new game then.
5'10", 150. Senior.
He's big.
Quick, unopposed around the corner there, was able to get right up in the kicker's dentition.
Indeed. Mr. Boyd, is tonight the homecoming game? Tonight's the homecoming game, is that right? I was on the website today looking at the Spirit Week, comparing it to our Spirit Week. Seniors won the thing. They always win the thing. They typically win the thing.
They won the thing.
They won the thing.
Yeah,
is
right.
it a stick, a rally stick? Is it still a rally stick? No, but you win a rally stick. I remember it being like a spear-like stick. No, you don't. I hope you couldn't hear that at home. You're getting ready for the broadcast, that's why. It's no time for the rally. Onside kick there for the Warriors.
Some trickery.
It bounces
South
off.
City's got the ball.
Can he advance the ball after he picks it up on the onside kick? I don't think that he can. Not that it matters.
Well, it bounced off of Woodside. South City with some trickery there. Looks like 2 different kinds of onside kicks they've tried.
John, and the onside kick, I don't know if it went 10 yards, but that Woodside Wildcat jumped on it, I think, before it hit that 10-yard mark, which makes it alive, right?
He touched it. It came off him, and South City came up with the ball.
That'll be a 1st down and 10 for the Warriors.
Loving the play calling here by Coach Oka.
And I wasn't paying attention, but I wonder if they kicked away from that wide receiver that was up there.
They did.
They kicked to the opposite side.
That's correct.
I don't blame them.
All right, 1st and 10, ball in the 46. Handoff again to Pua. This time nothing doing as Woodside gets in with 2 on the tackle.
And what do you think they talked about? You know, we need 10 guys tackling this one guy.
Ball be placed at the 48-yard line.
You see 10 Wildcats flying to the football.
10 Wildcats flying to the football.
For the Warriors.
You know, Ricardo, I was a Wildcat, not a Woodside Wildcat. I was a Wildcat from the well-revered college, California State University, Chico. The Chico State Wildcats.
Man, I thought you were going to drop a Westboro Wildcat on me.
Nope.
I saw a Westboro sweatshirt there amongst the band.
Oh, South City with the pass. Nice pass. Hauled in for a 1st down by number 1, Juan Borrero. That was just a quick little hitch. Boom.
Nice
3-step drop. Got that sucker out.
So the coaching staff here opening up the playbook a little bit. Not content to just give it to Pua to run it 50 yards.
I mean, do you think to yourself, hey, this is a bonus series right here, right?
That's right.
We tried a little trickery, got a little onside business. We got the ball. Let's give it a shot. 1st and 10, South City. Now, Woodside territory on the 40. Handoff to Pua. Nothing doing across the middle as he's brought down by number 26 of Woodside, Tomo Katara.
And that was similar to that big run earlier where there was a little bit of movement. Try to fool the Wildcats into thinking that they had a sweep left to be concerned of.
2nd down and 8.
And 2nd down and 8 for South City. You got to think at this part of the field, though, they're likely going to go. It's likely 4-down territory for these
feels
Warriors.
like it. Yeah, I agree with you there. Considering how well they move the ball, it wouldn't be the worst idea in the world.
Alapati with the snap. He's going to pass. Rolling out left. Got a receiver. Hauled it in.
Alapati's pass is complete. Number 8, Colson Pua.
Alapati to Pua seems to be quite the connection here for South City as they get 3 yards on the play, and they're going to bring up a third and short.
And, John, that's such a tough throw to make going across your body that way. He's running away from a defender. He's kind of on his back foot, and he's throwing, you know, a ball that needs some touch. So that was a nice play by that young man.
All right, 3rd and 4 for South City. Alapati snap, pitches it back. Stopped immediately by the Woodside defense. Nothing doing there for number 5.
No gain.
Spencer A. Eugenio.
Yeah, and I wonder if the Wildcats have decided to kind of key in on the run here and make the Warriors go to the air here, which I'm sure they're more than happy to do.
Game is tied 13-13.
I know Tyson Alapati's more than happy to go to
All right, well, that's the end of the first quarter as the South City Warriors and the Woodside Wildcats are tied 13 apiece.
Well, John, high-scoring affair through one quarter here. A nice play to end the half there for the Warriors. So we're going to go to our crack sideline reporter, Julissa Vergara. Julissa, go.
What's up, Warriors? It's Julissa here with the NFHS broadcast. I'm here with Nicole. So, Nicole, how's the game going?
The game's going good. It's tied 13-13 right now, and Warriors are going to bring it up.
Are you supporting anybody tonight?
Number 4, Jesus Galvan.
Back to you guys up there.
Thank you, Julissa. I appreciate that. And, John, Nicole has made our jobs redundant. She says the game is going well. It's all tied up. We are no longer needed here. Nice job by that group of people. And our sideline camera operator.
I didn't mean to blow everybody up at home there. I was responsible for the soundboard, and as soon as we turned it to our sideline reporter, the band, they turned it up.
Yes, they did.
Am I using that term correctly? Turning it up?
No, you did not.
I did not. Okay.
John, let me tell you more about their homecoming week, right? So the Spirit Week ended today. Monday was Top Hat Day. Tuesday was Dress Like a Teacher Day. Wednesday was Blackout Day. Thursday was Plaid and Flannel. And today, each class had a different color to wear.
All right, 4th down for South City. They got the first down. Nice run by number 7, David Alapati. Wow.
Alapati to Alapati there. Nice play.
Did you say Tuesday was dressed like Jim Harbaugh then?
Tuesday was Dressed Like a Teacher Day. Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Khakis and a polo.
Oversized khakis and your polo shirt tucked into your socks.
Hey, Harbaugh was in my neck of the woods the other day. He was in the Yak. He was in Antioch.
Right, he was recruiting one of the highest, one of the top-rated high school football players, right?
I heard he's going to move to Antioch. He liked it so much. That's not true.
I did not hear that. First in town, big first down and 10, big 4th down pickup by South City. Snap by Alapati. Nothing doing this time for David Alapati.
Antioch High is a nice field. They have a really cool gate, entrance gate that you have to go in through. You can see it right from the street. I drive by it constantly.
That was Tyson Alapati to David Alapati, the Alapati to Alapati connection.
Yes, it is.
Not to be confused with Alapati to Alapati. And a South City 2nd down. Once again, Alapati to Alapati. Big hit. The ball's taken across to the 10-yard line. It's going to be just a few yards short of another South City first down. South City continues with this bruising ground attack.
They're angry tonight. They're angry about something.
As Coach Sadu would say, they came to play.
For the Warriors.
I was just about to invoke Coach Sadu. I was gonna go with, don't stand on the track when the train's coming.
Choo choo. All right. Well, that's a 4-time Ironman talking. You got to listen.
That's right.
All right, 3rd down for South City. Hand off to Colson Pua. He pushes his way to another South City first down.
The Wildcats did a nice job there to keep him from finding the end zone. He had a head of steam and he saw a hole in front of him. They were fortunate to keep him out of the end zone there.
That's going to bring up a 1st and goal. save for that first drive, South City's been able to really enforce their run game out here against these Wildcats.
They certainly have, John, and it's kind of what we thought we would see. Woodside in the air, Warriors on the ground.
All right, first and goal for South City. Probably going to keep it on the ground. I'm thinking some more Colson Pua. Let's take a look. Sure enough, handoff and a flag.
With the handoff.
Looks like we got offsides on the defense.
Flag down, called against the Warriors.
No.
On the Warriors, I was looking at the lines judge who was pointing to Woodside. Thanks for deking me, bud.
You'll get it right.
Ball be placed at the 10-yard line.
John, tonight's officiating crew, referees Gus Lopez, umpire Edward Nino, linesman Glenn Washington, line judge Steve Ruiz, and back judge Anthony Moore.
That was Anthony Moore who was pointing towards Woodside, who told me that he was the, and I quote, best official in the world and wanted to be recognized as such. All right, pitch back from South City. He's looking for a corner, and a head of steam there by Alapati. Alapati takes it down to the 1 yard line. Man, he's got wheels.
That young man dropped the shoulder pad there, John. I'm stepping all over you. I was excited to mention what a great run there. Dropped the shoulder pad. He's getting his propers on the sideline here as they're going to take him out for the next series. Give him a rest. That was a big hit. These kids take so many big hits throughout the game, and it doesn't seem to faze them at all in the heat of war.
All right, second and goal for South City. There's a snap, handoff up the middle to Pua, and he bends it in for a South City Warrior touchdown.
And not a surprise that they handed it off to the big fella. He's been having his way there up the middle all night long. So a nice play by the Warriors and another answer. Let's see what they can do on defense now to maybe get a stop and add to this lead. Before we do that, let's do the PAT. We've had a couple eventful PATs tonight. The last Friday night game of the season, man. Hard to believe.
And South City's going to try to go up by 7 here. Snap, down, and it's a beauty. Beautiful kick. Up and good. It would have been good from the 30.
And that's more like it, John. That is more like it.
Woodside Wildcats 13, your South City Warriors 20.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd, for the reset there. John, you following this election at all?
I don't want to talk about it.
Wait. I'm going somewhere with this. So, students from our
yes, absolutely.
Students from our very own South City High are currently participating in the San Mateo County Registration and Election Division's Poll Worker Program for the November 8th presidential general election. The program's called Democracy Live, and it's established to give students a greater awareness of the election process and the rights and responsibilities of voters while serving their community as poll workers. The kids get a stipend of like $150 for the time and the training, and if they serve on election day.
We also have one more.
And remember, folks, one of the greatest things about our democracy is our right, our sacred right to vote. October 24th is the cutoff for you to register to vote on November 8th. Exercise your right, because if you like to complain, you should vote.
Yeah, then you have at least a reason to complain. And John, they're looking for fluent Spanish and Chinese language speakers. They're highly encouraged. For more information, contact Program Coordinator Carla Gallegos at 650-312-5292 or go and email Democracy Live at
Another onside kick by South City, and they haul it into the 40-yard line.
Sorry, I had my head down on the copy. I totally missed it. What happened?
Beauty is what happened.
I think the referees are discussing it here.
Looked like it was hauled in by South City. It was a beautiful sky-high kick there to the 40-yard line. Went the requisite 10 yards and was brought in by South City. Sorry for stepping all over there, Ricardo, but I got excited.
I had my head down on the copy trying to make sure I read that lady's email address right. Just Google Democracy Live. That's probably the easiest thing to do.
Google Democracy Live, there's a football game on.
Well, if you're watching this on the internet, you can just open another tab.
Well, yeah, if you're watching this on Al Gore's internet. And it looks like it's going to be Woodside's ball after a conference there by the officials. For a moment, it looked as though South City pulled off yet another onside kick.
The ball out of bounds.
Coach Oka voicing his displeasure a little bit in the classiest way
So
possible.
Woodside will
Big smile on his face as usual.
get the ball.
See, South City Warriors are like the R.A. Dickey of the football world. They're just throwing nothing but knuckleballs out there. That guy still around?
I don't know. Those knuckleballers usually have a pretty long shelf life, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's
Yeah, they
tumbling around someone's farm system.
They only throw about 72 miles an hour, so
Yeah.
you got a lot of longevity.
Not much stretch in the arm. And, you know, it's all well and good to call these onside kicks, but it's incumbent on the team, you know, to actually execute them. And they've been great all night long, all season long.
And that's a 1st and 10 by Woodside. And nothing doing there by number 5, Marcellus Chester Riley, looking for room and stopped in the backfield.
That's a nice play there by the Warriors to get back there and take him down in a hurry and not give him a chance to start bouncing around and doing his cutbacks and all that stuff. Not hitting the shoulder button on his N64 controller here.
R1, L1.
R1, L1.
Back to pass. Pass on the right side. He's got a receiver open and hauled in. Beautiful pass and completed to Adrian Juilliard Johnson. Gosh, that guy, man, their quarterback, Joseph King, he's got quite the arm.
Yeah, he does. Just phenomenal touch. He's only made 1 or 2 bad throws all night, to be honest. And the ones that have been caught were right there. So
He looks like a quarterback.
Yeah, he does.
6 foot, 177. Sometimes the game is just slower for some of these guys. They can really slow it down. Handoff. Once again to Chester Riley.
Chester Riley with the ball.
And a nice tackle there by Jesus Galvan. He's got the busy hands trying to knock the ball out of that young man's hands.
That was actually Darnell Ellis with the run. Want to give credit where credit is due, because I know these guys are going to watch the video when they get home. Tail of the tape.
So am I.
King with another pass.
And I think that's going to be offensive pass interference, John, but we'll see. I thought I saw a shove off there by that young man, but we'll see what the call is.
That was a beautiful touch pass in the corner of the end zone. The official that threw the flag also signaled touchdown, so that might be against South City.
Well, no, I think he's got to call the play how it is and then communicate whatever the penalty is, but I might have just made that up. So here we go.
It's holding against South City, and that's going to be declined, and more importantly, I'm right.
So nice play there once again by that Woodside offense to get the ball in the air and do what they do well.
What's up, Ricardo? You take the over? Because looks like
taking the over.
We've got another Kings Academy type situation here. It's a 20 to 25. We'll do some math here. 25.
We'll wait for Mr. Orwick to update the board. I think he's right.
All right. They're looking at tied here on the kick. It's going to be 20 apiece by Woodside. They can get a good kickoff here from the snap. It's down. Here's the kick. It's up, and it is good. Extra point makes it 20 apiece with 7:56. Plenty of time left here in the second quarter.
20-20.
A lot of time left here for both teams really to run away with it, but nobody seems to be able to pull away from the other. I think that's what happens when you have two good teams.
That's right. So it's brought us to this Barbara Walters situation, 2020.
Once again, we have
Nothing, Mr. Orlich?
That was for Jim Orlich. He said he's a huge Hugh Downs fan.
Oh, he's a Hugh Downs guy?
Rest in peace, Hugh Downs.
I'm a John Stossel guy myself.
I'm assuming Hugh Downs is dead. If you're not Hugh Downs, I apologize.
We need a stat guy.
We do need a stat guy. He's got to be 97 years old if he's around still.
Things at the South City Snack Shack. They have candied chips, cookies, water, soda, sports drinks, coffee, hot chocolate, nachos, hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, chicken sandwiches, and the world famous chicken rice teriyaki bowl. Go pick up a snack and support South City Athletics.
I promise to pay attention to the kick this time, John.
All right, and that's going to be a touchback. Great kick, nice kick there from Woodside.
20-yard line.
Ball's going to be at the 20-yard line for South City. I was actually looking at my phone to see if Hugh Downs was alive. I didn't want didn't want to say the poor guy was no longer with us, if that's not true.
John, look it up. I'm going to read an announcement. Come see the fall production of A Doll's House by Henrik Ibsen, performed by the Drama Club. Performances are Friday the 28th, Saturday the 29th at 7, and Sunday the 20th at 2 p.m. in the auditorium. Tickets are $5 for students and staff and $7 for general admission. Seating is limited, so come early to get a seat. I don't think they used to say that. Seating was limited in that 5,000-person auditorium.
As South City tries to run there, Woodside says they ripped the ball out, but it sounded like it was whistled dead. It's going to remain South City football.
I heard the same thing there, John.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
What is your guess? Is Hugh Downs alive or dead?
I'm going to have to say alive. It's Friday
Hugh
night.
Downs is alive. He is 95 years old.
Props to Mr. Hugh Downs. If you're listening, propers to you, Mr. Hugh Downs.
My goodness, Mr. Downs, I apologize, sir. You are a national treasure. Born on Valentine's Day, 1921 in Akron, Ohio. I'm sure he's rooting for the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, he's happy now. He's happy as a clam.
As South City opens up the playbook, pass along the right side. Hauled in for a first down for South City. Nice pass and reception. Completed to number 1, Juan Borrero.
And John, Marcellus Chester Riley, our phenomenal running back for the Wildcats tonight, was the quarterback on that play, and he was playing about 5 yards off of that receiver. So that receiver had plenty of time to catch it and make a football move upfield. So I'd guess that they play him a little closer here on out.
Should we do like are they alive or dead
no, I don't want to play that.
Is that not?
It's a little macabre.
Is that too macabre?
A little macabre.
Well, we brought that up, folks, because we wanted to introduce the word macabre as we get into SAT prep season for our high schoolers. As South City goes for a run there and sniffed out and brought down by Woodside.
John, the word of the day today was abasement. Abasement? I don't know the word. Abasement.
Jesus Galvan there.
Definitions: humiliation, degradation, abasement.
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 Why must you abasement?
Abasement.
You know what I love it when...
Get out of the abasement.
Get it out of the abasement. I always love it when somebody uses a word
I'm
to
sorry.
define the word. Use macabre in a sentence. Don't be so macabre. Second down.
Could be macabre.
2nd and 11 as Jesus Galvan lost a yard there. As the handoff up the middle, Colson Pua just running through Woodside, pushing down defenders as he goes, as he takes it all the way down to the 37-yard line. My goodness, he pushed down Marcellus Chester Riley, 5'6", 160 senior, like he wasn't even there.
Marcellus Chester Riley ran alongside him for about 10 yards, figuring out how he was going to take him down. Like he had a chance to think about what his approach was going to be. And Colson Poo was all business. He got up there, ran right back to the line, John. That's what I love about these Warriors. They're disciplined. They came to play. They didn't come to talk and Jimmy Jack around.
It did look like Marcellus Chester Riley was doing some mathematics there as he was trying to figure out the right angle. As there's a handoff from South City. They keep it with a run attack. He's cutting it to the side, to the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Warriors. David Alapati almost untouched all the way into the end zone.
You want to talk about some cuts and some nice moves upfield. That young man did about a 45-degree change of direction and found daylight. Before you knew it, he was in the end zone. So spectacular run there, great instincts. And the Wildcats are on their heels, man, no doubt. They haven't found a way to stop this team on the ground. And the Warriors are going to have an answer for the Wildcats in the air if they expect to build on this lead.
All right, South City looking to go up. Here's the extra point. The kick is up. It's a beaut. It is good as South City takes the lead, 27-20. Great kick there by number 34, Carlos Solis.
We got a game tonight, John.
I hope you like offense. You like offense?
I love offense.
All right. How about we sign you up for some offense then?
There you go.
Ba-ba-bum-bum-bum.
Attention all boys interested in boys basketball. There will be a meeting next Monday, October 31st in room B7 They will be discussing the requirements to play, as well as tryout dates and times. Coach Sadu, my brother's still mad that he did not make the team 10 years ago. I apologized to him. I said, when you train against me your whole life, you're just not playing upper-level competition. You can only back me down so many times and think you're really great.
That's really unfortunate because it's actually taken a really negative impact on his life. He really didn't do well afterwards. Sad, really. South City tries another onside kick.
And John, they got it
this time. My goodness. South City with every manner of onside kick as the coaching staff up here in the booth is giving themselves a little bit of love.
And they're excited,
Well
man.
deserved.
It's fun to watch. And, yeah, man, if you're the Wildcats, you got to be disappointed. I mean, you know it's coming at this point, right? I mean, you have to be aware that this is a possibility. I thought I saw a Wildcat kind of roll over the ball, and before I knew it, I saw one of our guys come up with it. So another great special teams play by this Warrior team.
I guess South City's just decided we don't want to give Woodside the ball. We can win this game if we keep the ball the entire time.
And that's not the worst idea. There's a lot of statistics that support that.
Well, time of possession and plus and minus in the turnover category usually leads you to the winner of a game.
There you go.
As South City is just inside Woodside's territory, ball on the 49-yard line. And a handoff there to number 5, Spencer Eugenio.
Nice to see Spencer getting into the mix. He's a name that we've called a lot this year. You know, he wants the ball.
Yeah, the 2-yard gain there by Spencer Eugenio. 2nd and 8. Would you believe, what would you guess, since we went on a 2020 tangent here for a minute, how old do you think John Stossel is?
John Stossel?
John Stossel.
I think he just fermented that mustache, so I'm going to guess he's 68.
Wow, that's great. I would not have guessed that. I'll let you know after this play. Colson Pua with the ball. This time brought down quickly by the Woodside Wildcats. Big fella, number 60 for the Wildcats. Xavier Cruz, 5'10", 250 senior, in on the tackle. John Stossel is
7 yards to go.
Above or below 70 years old?
Well, if you put it that way, I'm going to say above. Makes me think he's older.
69 years old, John
man.
Stossel. Which makes me feel old. I guess 2020 was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
All right, 3rd and long for the Wildcats. Inside Woodside territory. I got 3 set out wide. I'm sorry, check that for the Warriors. That's what happens when you go to a school that has the Wildcats for college. You get clearly confused. As Alapati tries to find a corner and doesn't get one, there's a flag on the play, holding on the Warriors, which I'm assuming Woodside is going to decline and bring up 4th down.
I think you're right, John. I thought I saw some no thank yous there from the Wildcats sideline. You're going to have to lend me those binoculars at some point. I want to see if Coach V is in the sidelines or in the stands.
Don't use me as a prop, man. I'm trying to hand you these binoculars.
I always like saying hello to Coach V, great history teacher at South City for many years, and a great assistant coach to some really, really great Warrior football teams.
And looks like South City might be lining up for their very first punt of the night. They don't want to lose the field position game. But nope, they're going to fake it. And looks like nothing doing there as Alapati tried to find a corner.
Pushed out of bounds, short of the first down.
Well short of the first down.
Take over on downs.
I really think that Coach Oka has decided to not give this ball, or not to consciously give the ball to the Wildcats tonight.
Yeah, that seems to be the case, John. You're right. The Warriors want to keep the ball as much as they can. Now they got to find an answer for their passing game.
Joseph King relaying the play to his running backs, looking cool as a cucumber as they've got 3 out, 3 set wide. Little pass in the backfield to Chester. There's a flag on the play as he breaks the tackle and takes it out of bounds. And Chester Riley looks like another hold on the Woodside Wildcats.
10-yard penalty.
Well, looks like the game's had a few penalties, more than I think we've been used to this season.
I don't think these binoculars are HD. How does that work exactly?
All right. Mr. Talbert coming with the hotness.
Yeah, Mr. Talbert's crushing it. I mean, this band is fantastic. They're real tight.
Mr. Talbert's nodding his head no, like, I can't believe we learned that.
First down and 17 for the Wildcats.
All right, 1st and 17 for Woodside. Joseph King, the quarterback in the shotgun set, hands it off to Chester Riley. Nothing doing. Looks like he stopped at the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of a yard. Might bring it out 2nd and 18.
So the Wildcats electing to go to the ground a little bit, keep the Warriors honest.
You got to check me. I'm having a hard time with saying Wildcats and saying Warriors because in my life I've been a Wildcat and a Warriors. It gets confusing.
A lot of W's there, John.
King with the pass to the right side. It looks like it's going to be pass interference. Number 2, Tyson Alapati was all over number 2 for Woodside. Adrian Julian Johnson.
He kind of jammed up the wide receiver there past the comfortable zone there for that sort of thing. He bumped him a little bit.
There was the bump in the inside shoulder pad grab.
Hey, but hey, the Warriors aren't going to make those passes easy anymore, even if it does result in some penalties.
15-yard penalty. Ball's placed at the Wildcats' 48-yard line. Second down and 7 yards to go from the Wildcats' 48-yard line.
And
check that.
it was going to be 2nd and 7, and it looks like the referees have gotten together and moved the ball up even closer. It's going to bring about, looks like,
7-yard line.
A second
down and 2.
2nd and 2. Yeah, open that up, Ricardo. Let's open up this window here as South City tries to stop the run by Chester Riley, who weaves his way for a first down.
Got down at the 44-yard line of the Warriors.
Now we're watching in HD.
Now it's an HD, that's correct.
Now we're in HD.
Wildcats.
Oh, yeah. Felt like I was watching a fish tank or something. It was weird.
Who's inside the fishbowl, them or us?
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
Wow.
Deep
Very
thoughts.
deep thoughts. And Woodside with the run. Ball taken by number 7, Chris Bruger.
Chris Bruger with the ball.
They've got some big fellas on this Woodside team, 5'9", 207.
Second down and 7 yards to go.
I'm all over the place here with this yardage here. Now we're looking at 2nd and 7 after the first down. Chris Bruger once again with the ball.
Bruger again with the ball.
Woodside looking a little bit more balanced on this drive, not electing to go to the air so quick and take some time off the clock there. I think they felt the time of possession kind of slipping away from them, so they decided to rectify that a little bit as the clock continues to wind here in the first half. About a minute and a half left.
All right, 3rd and short for Woodside. South City looks like they're stacking the box. Looks like they might bring the house. And that's a pass on the left side, incomplete. Pass intended for number 16. Oh, we've got a flag away from the play here. That's not good. Tyson Alapati on the complete opposite side of the field.
Well,
just got a flag. So
yeah, my guy on the Wildcats here, Adrian Julian Johnson's been chirping all game long at these DBs. So I think unfortunately Alapati got drawn into that a little bit.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, you learn that the hard way. You got to be mature.
Got to be mature, Coach Brian. Got to be mature.
For a moment there, I thought the referee was practicing his flag toss.
Is it a nice toss?
Then I realized that was for real. So that's not. It's not good. That looking like they're about to stop the drive there.
Yeah, it's rough. Alapati's got to keep his cool there. I'm sure he wants that one back. And like I said, they've been chirping all game long. The Warriors, generally speaking, are are businessmen out there. You haven't seen any excessive celebration penalties or really any unsportsmanlike conducts all season long.
Well, I mean, we've talked about this all season long, how this South City team is actually, they play smart.
Yeah.
And that's not something we could say, when we started doing this 2-3 seasons ago, when it was a team that was made up of mostly sophomores. Yeah. And they've really matured and they've come into their own. So, unfortunately, that's something that you're going to learn. And, hopefully they can nip that in the bud and try to stop this drive here.
That's right.
Got to have a short memory sometimes in this business.
Indeed you do. And I'm sure that these Warriors absolutely will have that on their mind here as the game progresses. I'm sorry, John, I missed 2 call timeout there, but that is going to bring a stoppage to play.
There's a box teeming with donuts over here that I keep trying to ignore.
John, if you want to crack at designing the senior sweatshirt, email your design to SSFHS2017@gmail.com by November 4th.
Already did. I used a little program. Perhaps you've heard of it. It's kind of an expensive program. It's called MS Paint.
Yeah, you designed the sweatshirt on MS Paint.
MS Paint, 1 pixel at a time.
All kinds of snacks. Also, the Key Club is still selling donuts, and the junior class selling tea pumps for $5. All proceeds benefit South City programs and athletics.
So let's see if the Warriors can come up with a defensive stop here.
Low snap. Joseph King, the quarterback, he's going to keep it. Takes it around the left side and was hauled down short of the first down. Big tackle there.
And that'll be it'll be short for the first down there, John, as the Wildcats call their last time out there in the half. And that suplex was useful for a couple reasons.
Like Carlos Solis on the suplex.
Made him burn a timeout, kept him short of the first down. So a nice play there by the Warriors.
Is that a suplex? Is that what a suplex is?
I think that was a suplex. We'll ask Coach Matucci here at the
You will get nothing but the cutting edge sports terminology here on the NFHS network.
Oh, I believe that was a stone cold stunner. That's right. Stone cold stunner.
As you can clearly see here, it came off the top rope.
It's a rock bottom. Got a rock bottom. If we could get Heba Salim back here, she probably has a few wrestling terms she could drop on us.
You know what? As I was looking back at some of our old tape to refresh myself,
drop us. Period.
There was a lot of Heba Salim tape there on YouTube. So if you're watching this, go ahead and Google her, put her in the YouTube search, and she is a great wrestler.
Warrior sideline princess, man. Props to Heba.
3rd and 2. Joseph King back. Right side, pass is hauled in for a first down. Looking for more, brought down at the 5-yard line. Pass hauled in by number 12, Derek Smith.
A nice job by Juan Barrero there to pick up his comrade and take down that wide receiver. Another spectacular throw there by the quarterback.
And Woodside is out of timeout, so they were trying to rush that play there, and somebody either jumped off sides or was encroached.
I think that center just went down pretty quick there for Woodside. Let's see what the call is here by the referees. And the sign is for the clock to continue to run here.
All right, the clock continues to run, 37 seconds and counting, as Woodside's trying to get a score before the end of the half. King with the handoff to Chester Riley. Chester Riley's in. Touchdown, Woodside Wildcats.
Chester Riley gets so low to the ground, man. He's such a hard guy to tackle there. As he gets low, and he already has a nice set of moves there to get free. So Wildcats only went to the air a couple times on this drive. They didn't really need to. They had a nice balanced attack. And the Warriors have a challenge up ahead here to figure out how to stop this offense.
As Woodside's looking to tie things up here. The snap, the kick is up, and it is good. As we're all tied up here, 27 apiece.
With 27 seconds left in the first half.
27's across the board, 27 South City, 27 Woodside with 27.6 remaining.
27's wild, as Vince Scully would say.
27's wild, South City Wildcats. Speaking of South City versus the Wildcats, actually. Speaking of South City, close to the Ora Wheat Bakery, bakers of delicious wheat and sourdough bread. South City wearing the blue of the Dodgers, which makes a lot of people unhappy, as this is a large contingent of San Francisco Giants fans here deep in their territory.
No.
How was that?
I believe Game 6 is Saturday, and Game 7 is probably Sunday, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
Kershaw
Clayton
going tomorrow,
Kershaw.
so I got to think they're going to 7. Kershaw found the magic touch.
I feel like everybody has
They're
a
too
Vince
arrogant,
Scully
though, man. The
impression.
Cubs are so arrogant.
So
I don't want them to win.
Are you rooting for the Dodgers?
No, I'm just saying. IJS, John. IJS.
IJS.
Coach Stu here claiming Dodger blue for forever, for life.
Por,
for life, think blue.
Think blue por vida. How was the Vince Scully though?
No, that Vince Scully was on hit, man.
Right, okay, I want to make sure. I think I don't think you can be an announcer without having a Vince Scully impression. All right, 27 seconds left. South City's got all their timeouts remaining, so they might try to put something together here. See if they can't score one more time before the half. Woodside with the kick, deep through the end zone, and South City will take the ball on the 20-yard line.
And for the record here, Coach Stu has asked that I clarify that he is in no way, shape, or form a Dodger fan.
I wasn't sure about that. I've seen some text messages that would say otherwise.
Dodgers. So we'll see what Coach Oka decides to do here. He's got 80 yards, all his timeouts in about 30 seconds here in the first half to make something out of nothing. They have had a slew of big plays tonight, so it's not out of the realm of possibility, that they try to make something happen. And if he doesn't, if they don't get some positive yardage here, I don't think you'll see them, go 4 downs and try to kill themselves.
South City looks like they're going to be happy to go ahead and let the clock run out here on the first half. It's all tied up at 27 apiece.
27.
And that's the safe play, John. Kneel it, go into the locker room, collect your thoughts, and re-rack. Man, we have a whole new ball game here in about 15 minutes. It's going to be like the first half never happened. 27 all. Just a great game on the offensive side here thus far. Pretty much what we expected this evening. As we go down to Kat Chavez, our intrepid sideline reporter. Kat, take it away.
Hi, my name is Catherine Chavez, and I'm here with the NFHS Live Network, and I'm here with an all-star from girls basketball here at South City High, Nevaeh Miller. Well, how does it feel being here at the football game tonight?
It's very fun and interesting game to watch.
How do you think the Warriors are going to do?
I feel like we can get a win. They can hold it down and get a win.
Like always. So, how does it feel to go to South City High?
It's a very good school.
And we're back to you guys in the studio. Thanks so much, Nevaeh.
Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. And as a former student, I agree, John. Very good school.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a break.
Sorry, you didn't finish that donut. That's on me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not eating a donut. I always sound like this.
Kristen, if you're watching, I'm sorry. It's the last one. Last donut.
All right. 27 apiece, folks. We're going to take a break. Why don't you take one as well? We'll see you back here for the second half. The South City Warriors take on the Woodside Wildcats. the world famous Chicken Teriyaki Bowl. All right, and we're back here and underway. As South City continues with the trickery and kicks off, and it's recovered by Woodside.
Woodside's 46-yard line. First and 10 Wildcats.
Well, let's see what the Warriors decide to do here in the second half. See if their game plan changes any. I imagine it won't. I mean, there was a lot of success on the ground offensively for the Warriors. And once again, on the defensive side of the ball, it's pretty clear that Woodside started out in the air and then they kind of brought it back to the ground a little bit. So both these defenses have their jobs cut out for them, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the strategy, though, for these constant short kicks, these onside kicks. Obviously for someone with a much higher pay grade than myself, as Woodside tries to do some running and nothing doing there by Darnell Ellis, number 9. South City with another onside kick. And tremendous field position here for Woodside. I guess they just have that kind of confidence in their defense.
Oh yeah, I mean that, and they've had a lot of success with the onside kick. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
They've had a lot of positive bounces thus far.
King back to pass, great pass along the right side, hauled in and pushed out of the 20-yard line. Number 6, Weston Bourgeois.
Juan Barrero there on the tackle, and I can't say enough good things about this quarterback for Woodside. Joseph King has looked about as crisp and as clean as any quarterback we've seen this year.
I'm stealing this from something
included.
I heard somebody else say, but I'm just going to regurgitate it. There's some players who look as though the game is slow for them.
Yeah.
Like they can see things develop, they can take their time. Joseph King doesn't look like he gets freaked out in the pocket whatsoever. He takes his time, he checks down, as there's a handoff there from Woodside up across the middle, and that's number 5. Chester Riley.
And John, he's got a quick motion too. I mean, he doesn't dilly-dally around back there. He just kind of lets it rip. Got a nice rhythmic motion there, and it's nice to see at the high school level. Props to him.
That's right. Not a lot of hitch in there. Just gets that ball out and fires it. Another handoff to Chester Riley. He's breaking free. He's through for another Wildcats touchdown. And I question the field position, decision there. You basically gave him half a field to work with.
Well, it seems to be that the thought process is, hey, it's worked for us a couple times.
Right.
We'll see if it'll work again. I think as maybe the game gets a little bit tighter, you won't see it as much. But right now, when there's plenty of game left, why not?
All right, it's 33-27 with 10:48 left. Not a defensive game. It's definitely an offensive battle at this point. Kind of makes you feel like whoever's got the ball last will be victorious.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's got that feeling.
It's got that feeling. The Kings Academy game from several weeks ago. Whoever had the ball last, you had a good feeling was going to win.
Smoked Kings Academy.
As we've got an unsportsmanlike on South City.
Well, that's not good. They assess that on the kick, John, or what are we going to do here?
As a matter of fact, they will. And I'll double check on that just shortly here.
See the Wildcats changing personnel there a little bit. See if they decide to go for 2 here, maybe.
Yeah, and South City's got to be careful. It's a tight game. You definitely want to keep your head about you.
And, considering the success that both teams have had on the offensive side of the ball, may not be the worst idea to start going for 2. Again, with this much time left, put the pressure on the other team to keep scoring, to keep up with you.
And that's exactly what they're going to do as Joseph King lines up in the shotgun. Hands it off to his versatile running back, Chester Riley.
I'm looking for a signal here. It doesn't look like they got it. So, it didn't work there. But earlier they had a PAT blocked, and they recovered from it. So there's a lot of game left. Not the worst idea. Coach Justin Andrews here taking a page out of Oka's book and not shying away from.
And Oka doesn't like things stolen from him. He doesn't like any pages removed from his book. So there's definitely going to be some consequences. As someone almost fell on the back of my head. That's very interesting.
No, I got you. I was watching. You're all right.
Thanks for the heads up there.
You're all right. You're good. So it'll be up to the Warriors, John, to answer here. So the Wildcats went into halftime and came out, put some points on the board. You know, they have to be feeling like, hey, look, we took some time off. We thought about it. We're still here to play. We're still going to put points up. It's up to the Warriors to respond.
Well, maybe Woodside here decides to dust off one of their onside kicks.
Well, we'll see what the coaches decided here at the half.
As they've got their svelte 6'2", 280-pound kicker, Alex Roque.
Word of the day, svelte.
Roquois, I believe his name is pronounced. Very svelte. 4'4", 40, I'm sure. Oh, and he's got quite the leg. He boots it to about the 5-yard line, hauled in by South City. And brought down with a nice open field tackle. That was number 4, Jesus Galvan, brought down by the Woodside Wildcats.
And you know Jesus wanted to run the ball back. He's happy to get it, have a chance to make a play. Got it back to about the 20. So once again, it's incumbent on the Warriors here to put up some points here, get the offense going once more, and pick up right where they left off.
No, you definitely got to be smart here. You know, you can't go chasing waterfalls. You got to stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
TLC, ladies and gentlemen. Perhaps you've heard.
I know that you're going to have it your way or nothing at all.
TLC.
But I think you're moving too fast as South City tries to move fast as they keep it with a run up the gut. And that looks like a gain of 3 yards to bring up a 2nd and 7.
Gain of 3 yards on the play. 2nd down and 7 yards to go.
And the wind is picking up a little bit here in the second half. Flags are flying a little bit faster now.
Have to check that South City weather vane. 2nd and 7, pitched out to the back. Trying to find a corner. There's a flag there in the area. It looks like offensive holding as David Alapati was trying to find a corner. Couldn't find one. Looks like Woodside's starting to sniff out that run.
And you're absolutely right, John. That's going to get pulled back. So the Warriors are hit a little bit of a wall here to open up the second half. And they need to find their stride and get their confidence back. And remember how well they did in that first half. You know, both teams are making adjustments, John. We'll see the Warriors can do the same.
Well, like you said, these Warriors are tough. They're very workmanlike. You know, they get in there, they get the job done, and they're going to stick with what's been working for them. But you know, that's really unfortunate because that brings up basically a 2nd and 20, and there's not a lot of plays you got drawn up for 2nd and 20.
And then you have the problem with, you know, going into the air this close to your own end zone. You got the possibility of a pick 6 here that's high.
As they got the pass and the pitch back. Turning the corner, busting it past some Woodside defenders.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What a run by that young man.
That's David Alapati, and he just kept his legs moving. Nice little sportsmanship there. Gave it a little pat.
1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 7 Wildcats were in on that tackle. So a little bit of trickery there by the Warriors to get a little bit of breathing room behind their back one and secure a first down.
And that was Alapati giving a little pat on the helmet to number 7, Chris Brugger of the Wildcats, saying, hey, man, nice play. Nice play. Knocked me out of bounds. All right. You came to play. And I guess I was wrong. Yes, you do have some plays drawn up for 2nd and 20 as South City gets the first down there. Alapati again with the ball. Another flag in the area of offensive holding.
I don't know if I agree with that flag. I saw what that referee was watching, and I didn't see it the same way. But it's going to pull it back a little bit. It's exactly what you don't want to see, but
yeah, the old 1 step forward, 3 steps back routine. And I don't know if we've gotten a chance to do this here, but, you know, I want to thank the men and women of the South San Francisco Police Department. We had a nice chat with our officer here on the field. They're always have some officers available for the South City football games, doing a great job here protecting our community. And it's been a pleasure. Last night game here of the year. We're gonna have the Bell game coming up on November 5th, if
that's right.
Memory serves.
Got it.
And that should be quite the show. It always is a long-standing tradition here on the peninsula, as the South City Warriors will take on the El Camino Broncos. As there's a handoff to Colson Pua, and Colson Pua is gonna go cross the 50. And it doesn't really look like anybody wants to tackle Colson Pua. I don't need to call out any names on Woodside, but a gentleman stood in front of him, and he basically just kind of gave him a little shove.
He's kind of hoping he'd just run out of bounds.
And that's exactly what Colson Pua did.
Save him the embarrassment.
Well, Colson Pua is a big fella, and he's a downhill runner, as they say.
He gets there, and then he gets his yards, and then just turns around and walks right back to the line. It's very workmanlike, John, just like you said. Very workmanlike, good pedigree. Dad knows a little bit about football. See him on the sideline.
Well,
here.
South City's a blue-collar town, and it's a blue-collar team. It really echoes the community. It really does.
Coach Pooh in his shorts, Friday night shorts.
Another handoff. South City staying with the run attack. Nice run up the gut there for a gain of 4 yards. I mean, it really does beg to say. I mean, South City's always been a predominantly middle-class town.
Blue collar, baby.
It's a blue-collar town. It used to be an industrial town. Used to be quite literally the industrial city, as the hill denotes. And you see that in this team. They get there, they get after it. It's the Pittsburgh of the Bay Area.
That's not a bad comparison.
Not to be confused with Pittsburgh in the Bay Area. The Pittsburgh, like the East Coast Pittsburgh. It's a workman-like town. They get in there, they get their job done. There's Colson Pua, and Woodside decided to send 7 people to go tackle him, and that works every time. Big guy number 54 in on the tackle there. That was Aisa Manu, senior, 6'1", 230.
Well, I know Tyson wants to go to the air. He's got a cannon that he's kept holstered for most of this game. But I wouldn't be surprised to see the Warriors go to the air here in a little bit.
I would be.
Really?
I'm going to take you up on that bet.
Just keep on running?
Well,
Pound it?
It's hard to not just want to say.
Yeah, you're right.
Colson Pua, go ahead and just get us 8 yards here. Go ahead and get
30
us
yards off.
Yeah, so. And South City's going to take a timeout. They're actually going to talk about it.
Kind of a disjointed drive here. A lot of success. We got the 2 penalties. Everyone's kind of feeling out what the second half is going to be. They're in a good position here at the middle of the field to make something happen.
Hot chocolate, coffee, sports drinks, nachos, hot dogs, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, chicken sandwiches, and the world famous.
John, are you interested in buying a yearbook? You can pre-order one now. If you pre-order before December 16th, you'll save $20. After December 16th, the price will go back to its original of $85. Visit Ms. Dano, at E4 for more information.
All right. I've actually got all my yearbooks from all my years here at South City.
Just hope Brian Perez doesn't tamper with this year's yearbook here. Make sure he doesn't have access to the yearbooks.
You read my mind.
Brian, if you're listening, we love you, buddy.
He's actually doing quite well these days.
I'm
He
just
is
kidding.
a senior product developer designer, I believe, for NVIDIA Systems down in the South Bay. Shout out to Brian, another successful South City alumni.
We're going to bring all these guys up.
Hey, there's Colson Pua for the first down. How about that? Just like I told you, out to the right side.
Look at
Busting
him
it out to
go.
the 10. The 5, he's in. Touchdown, Warriors! Colson Pua
He's still running, man.
with a 40-yard run for a touchdown. Yeah, they're not going to go to the air, Ricardo.
I don't know. They
All
might
right.
at some point. Yeah, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, why would you do that? Exactly right. Why would you when you got Colson Pua on your side? He's the secret weapon, and you know what? Here's the thing. He's no secret at all.
No, not
They're
at
just
all.
going to come at you with him.
And John, we were reminiscing earlier about our homecoming here about 15 years ago now, and we drove a V8 Mustang onto the field, and that looked like a V8 Mustang churning, pistons turning.
That's right.
Nice
That was my 87 5.0 drop top as the kick is up, and it is good. So South City's going to take the lead here, 34-33. Back in that day, the field was grass. It was actually curved across the middle for drainage purposes, and there was a dirt field around it. Dirt track rather around it. And it wasn't me, actually. Someone else. I think it was a teacher. It had to be a teacher who drove.
Really? That seems safe.
Drove my 87 5.0
God, that clutch
pearl
was,
white Mustang.
That clutch was so heavy, man.
Oh, it was terrible. But by the way, come on, folks. What were you thinking? You let a 17-year-old purchase a 5.0 Mustang.
Bad idea.
Terrible idea.
Bad idea.
I'm just glad that I'm here.
We
and that I've-
survived. Yeah, no,
Oh,
I know.
my goodness. I think about that all the time, especially, all kidding aside, with all the things the kids have to deal with today with social media.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
could say something, and we said stupid stuff all the time.
Sure.
We were kids, That prefrontal cortex was not developed.
No, it's not.
And, you could take it back. You could get it back. People would forget. Now you put something out there, and it's immediately out there.
John, as Judge Marilyn Milian of the People's Court says, say it, forget it, write it, regret it. And that is the age we live in now.
You know, it really
it
really is, and it's really too bad because you can make a mistake, you can do something, and you'd be held accountable or made to answer for that for the rest of your life. So be smart out there, kids. When you're tweeting, you're using your Instagram, your Facebook, your Bookie Face, or all those things. The internet has no erase button. It's there.
It really doesn't.
It's there.
Watch the People's Court for more information. That's my show, People's Court.
And remember, be smart, kids. Don't text and drive.
Sure.
It can wait.
Sure. That's the official motto thing, right? It can wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from our partners at AT&T. And South City's not going to do the onside kick for once, as they send the ball across down to and it's picked up at the 15-yard line by Riley, and he's got some fleet feet as he is making his way through the South City defense. There's a flag on the play.
Late flag there by the referee, and the Warriors are asking for a block in the back, and I'm hoping that's what is called here, because that was a pretty clear, pretty clear push in the back there.
Illegal block in the back.
It's going to bring that run. And John, I think that kick was designed to kind of go into no man's land and act as like a medium-sized, give a Warrior a chance to go out and get it.
It was pretty.
Yeah, it was gorgeous.
It basically got to the 15-yard line and sat down.
This special teams executes like no other.
Ball is placed at the Woodside 16-yard line, 1st and 10 Wildcats.
Kick it where they ain't, John. Kick it where they ain't.
All right, snap and a handoff there once again to, that's actually number 9 for the Woodside Wildcats, Darnell Ellis.
No gain on the play.
As Marcellus Chester Riley, their return man for most of the game, and their running back's probably taking a breath. He's been running all over the place.
That's right. Offense has been busy this evening for both sides. Quarterback drops back to throw.
Nice pass across the right side and hauled in. His passes are all on the money. Hauled in by Derek Smith, number 12, junior. Wow, I mean, he's really got that pocket presence. He stays in the pocket, scans the field, picks up his coverages, and puts it right where it needs to be.
And it was a nice tackle there by Jesus Galvan. Everybody's got to be 100% in their tackling game this evening, because you break one tackle and it's open, it's daylight. As the Warriors bring down
Chester Riley.
Brought down by number 4,
Chester
Jesus
Riley.
Galvan.
It's going to be short of the first as Woodside is just trying to chip away.
What's the name of that Cheetos?
Second down and 6 yards to go for the
Chester
Wildcats.
Cheese or something?
Chester Cheese.
I got to think they call him Chester Cheese. Chester Cheetah? I don't know.
All right, there's a flag on the play here. Offside South City, so that's going to hurt.
It's a 5-yard penalty.
It's going to be 2nd and 2.
A lot of penalties this half. And it's something I've kind of grown accustomed to not seeing.
Second down and 1 yard to go.
Erases some good work that they've been doing on both sides of the ball.
And it's actually a 2nd and 1. Joseph King fakes the handoff, keeps himself, quarterback keeper around the right side. He's got room.
Nice tackle there by the Warriors.
Taking it down to the 35-yard line. Somebody's got to teach that kid to slide.
He only had a couple guys to beat, John. I think his eyes got wide.
He dropped that shoulder.
Yeah, he did. It was a great tackle, though, by the DBs there.
Reminded me of Blaine Gabbert week 2. I'm like, this guy's going to get blown up.
Week 2.
Well, week 2, he was running all over the place. And he was.
Boy haircut of his.
He's got that razor cut. It's got like that, he's got that razor part. As Chester Riley's got not much doing there. Looks like a gain of about 2 yards up the middle. That's going to bring up 2nd and 8. So, yeah, what is he? He's got that, they take like a straight razor
part thing, yeah.
And they put like that part in your hair.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a good-looking man. What are you going to do?
It's an aggressive cut.
He's a good-looking man, and he's rich, so he probably doesn't even really care. I mean, he has to probably pretend that he cares. It's Joseph Riley's back. Another pass right across the middle, just a step or two in front of the receiver, who had some really good coverage there. That was Weston Bourgeois.
And that quarterback just fired the ball in there. I mean, that's the first time I kind of saw him rear back and put some mustard on that ball, and it came in hot.
Yeah, it was definitely spicy mustard.
Spicy mustard. None of that Dijon mustard.
I like Dijon mustard, man. All right, keep it there.
I'm just saying.
Hey, stay in your lane.
IJS.
3rd and 8. And he tried to do the old West Coast offense swing pass. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 8. And you got to think Woodside's going to go for it here.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a no-brainer, right? With so much offense we've seen tonight, it seemed crazy for them this close to the end zone here to not go for it. But our quarterback's a little bit out of rhythm here. His last 2 throws not great. We'll see what they decide to do here. And he's had a lot of time back there this evening. I mean, he's got great timing. He's been able to get the ball out. The Warriors have not had much of a chance to get some pressure back there.
And he's getting some signs from the sideline. And South City's got to watch the hard count here. I mean, you know, he might try to draw them off sides, get a few yards for free. Nope. Shotgun. Pass across the left side, hauled in, but short of the first down. South City with a big 4th down stop. Nice open field tackle by David Alapati. South City will take over the ball.
And not a great drive there for the quarterback of Woodside there. I mean, he got his target, but he was way, way, way short of the first down marker. So nice play by the Warriors. Quarterback had nowhere to go, and it's a defensive stop. How about it?
What is that thing called again? Defense. Oh, defense.
Defense, I believe.
The defense, yes. How
How
about Colson Pua for 70 yards? You want to draw that up?
Take ball, go far.
Take ball, go far. And I think that might have been drawn up as Colson Pua with a gain of, looks like still like a gain of about 3.5 or 4 yards there. Even when it looks like he's getting stopped, he's picking up 3-4 yards a whack there.
And with about 4 minutes left in the quarter here, you know they're going to want to continue to control the ball as much as they can.
A nice, long, methodical drive ending with a touchdown, I'm sure, is what Coach Jay Oka has drawn up.
That's right. Give that defense a chance to rest.
Alapati back, handoff up the middle. Nice little gain there. Looks like Spencer Eugenio looks like he picked up another 3 yards, 3 or 4.
It's a change of pace right there. The bruising, Colson Pua and the effete Spencer Eugenio.
Well, you know, you're getting 3-4 yards a chunk there. It puts you in a nice, reasonable 3rd and short scenario, which is what these Warriors are looking at here. So 3rd and short. Handoff, Pua up the middle. Woodside having a hard time taking him down as he gets a first down up to the 49-yard line. And just methodically running up the gut, looking for corners on the left and right side of the field, picking up 4, 5, 10, 15 yards. Colson Pua has been all over the field tonight, Ricardo.
Nice run by that young man. He's commanded this game from the beginning to now. This is his game to win.
And South City's just got to be careful with possession there. That handoff looked like it was sniffed out, and Woodside was on it immediately. It looks like they're gonna say South City got back to the original line of scrimmage, but those are the ones that make your heart stop a little bit there.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Making sure that the ball is going to get to where it needs to be.
And you know, John, I thought they might go to the air earlier. I was wrong about that. But, geez, if there was ever a time for play action, man, I'm waiting for it.
Well,
it's going to happen eventually.
Woodside got no spy over the top. They're definitely loading the box. They know
that's exactly right.
They know South City's going to run. They're daring South City to run, and South City's going to, run. So.
And even that right there was a good 3.5-yard run. So.
Yeah, I mean, if they drew up a little give and go, and they even play action or even just even fake a short pass, bring the ball back down and go deep. I mean, you could burn this defense.
Well, I know my guy Alapati here loves that quick slant. Likes the guy to sit in the zone, and he hits him right in the chest. It's about a 7-yard, facing a 3rd and 7 here, so.
And South City's going to take another timeout. So South City's now burned 2 timeouts. They still have 2 minutes left in the third here. So they're going to only have 1 timeout going into the 4th quarter.
And that's a good timeout, I think, John. You know, give everybody a chance to compose their thoughts a little bit and take a breath and refocus on what they're trying to accomplish here with 3rd and 7. Because you have a tendency to want to get those 7 yards, but maybe coach says here, like, hey, look, we have 4 downs. We have 2 downs to get these 7 yards. We're running all over the place. You know, don't get ahead of yourselves. Take what's there. Secure the ball. And remember, we still have a whole quarter to play.
Got to be smart here. Got to make sure you maintain possession.
SMRT, John. SMRT.
Are you quoting the longest running half-hour television program?
600 episodes, man.
In American history.
600.
The Simpsons since 1989.
So many episodes.
I think there's parents of kids that are in South City High School that were born the same year that the Simpsons came out. That is possible, right?
Yeah. I remember in like the 3rd and the 4th grade talking about the Simpsons episode that came out on the Sunday prior to school.
You know, I actually haven't watched in several years.
They had kind of a little renaissance, but you're not missing too much.
Well,
it'll be on DVD. Don't worry about it.
All that fantastic programming on HBO. I'm having a hard time pulling myself away. All right, 3rd and 7 for South City here, just inside Woodside territory. Ball on the 48-yard line. Barreto in motion. Back pass across the middle, tipped and incomplete. Looked like it was intended. Turn your number towards me, young man.
It's Demetrius Gutu, John.
Demetrius Gutu.
He had a nice showing the other day, but that would have been a tough play even if he had caught it there. Would have been a short gain.
You think of some trickery here? You got to punt. I mean. You got to punt here. You got to do some field position. You got a great defensive stop.
Oh, nope. He's going to throw it. Lob.
Oh. No, incomplete pass. And there's a flag on the play. Looks like it may be in the area of pass interference.
Oh, no, John. I think this flag is closer to the – are there a couple flags? I see a flag closer to the line of scrimmage there.
I saw one down over there next to 47, Demetrius Gutu, and he's kind of he's a little slow getting up here.
And Gutu got a hand on that pass that was kind of floated up there. And that's a great pass, you know what I mean? Like to give your receiver a chance to get it. If it's intercepted, so what? It's like a short punt.
Right.
So it was a good play, and I think there were 2 receivers in the vicinity of that ball. And they just couldn't make it happen there, but still a good play.
All right.
So much time you're left in the game. So.
The refs have decided to pick that flag up, and so Woodside's going to take over the ball here with basically half a field to work with. I would have punted.
Well,
but I don't make those decisions.
Middle of the field.
South City up by 1, 34-33. 1:52 left here in the 3rd. Woodside with the ball on their own 48-yard line. And quarterback Joseph King in the shotgun formation. 4 wide receiver set. And he's going to hand it off to Riley, who was stopped for a loss of about 3 or 4.
Nice group tackle there by the Warriors. And you can feel the game kind of tensing up here in the second half. It's not as free form as that first.
The game is definitely puckered up.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Well, I need to focus here. Here we go.
Up in the air
pass
again.
And hauled in across the middle and dropped.
That ball's loose, John.
The ball is loose. It's on the ground. Picked up by South City on the 20.
Pass is complete and then fumbled.
Picked up by South City as South City Warriors get the ball on the 20-yard line. Wow, great reception by Marcellus Chester O'Reilly. Came down with it, took 2 steps, fumbled it, and was picked up by South City. What a turn of events. Is that Uncle Mo sitting on the South City sideline?
He's wearing a Warrior hat, I think. One of those cool Warrior hats that were only made in small medium that I can't wear. It's just a great play by the Warrior DB there to stay with the play and not give up, make a great tackle, jar that ball loose. And there were plenty of Warriors in the vicinity also not giving up on the play, there to fall on anything that happens. So just a great team effort there by the Warriors, something I've grown accustomed to seeing all season long. Just a great team focus.
And as they do all season long, the South City Band is playing Seven Nation Army for the interception. It's a great song. because the Seven Nation Army, Ricardo, couldn't hold me back as South City has the ball here. 1st and 10. Hand off to Pua, lowers that shoulder, knocks over about 7 Woodside defenders. He comes up, he's fired up.
And that's the most emotional you've seen him all night long. That was a physical run of many physical runs this evening. That's just a crazy effort by that young man.
Yeah, Colson Pua out to the 43-yard line, and it's really not a lack of effort by these Woodside Wildcats. I mean, you know, they're just not able to bring him down. I mean, he keeps those feet moving, and you know, at first contact, it's almost like he accelerates.
That's right.
He doesn't
when
give in.
He feels the first hit, it triggers something in his head. He lowered his shoulder right into that young man.
1st and 10, and just like that, the Warriors are rolling. Handoff to Barrero. Barrero dances his way across the middle for a gain of 4. Jesus Galvan.
That's a tough one to follow, John. There was a lot of activity there. Any one of 3 people could have gotten the ball. So Warriors, these plays are so tough to pull off timing-wise, you know, so these kids don't run into each other. It just takes an incredible amount of focus to make those plays look easy. Well, you know, that's practice and that's preparation, and that's a great staff.
I think that does beg repeating. I mean, South City's South City's playbook is 90% run, but they put a lot of wrinkles on it. It's not just a straight handoff like that to Colson Pua, who's going to do what Colson Pua does, which is run through people, and he continues to do as he gets down across the 40 into Woodside territory, and just can't be stopped. As that's the end of the 3rd quarter, as the Warriors get a 1st down and they lead 34-33.
After 3 quarters of play here at Clifford Field, Woodside Wildcats 33, your South City Warriors 34.
Thanks, Mr. Boyd, for giving us that little bit of information. As we go down to our sideline reporter, Julissa Vergara, take it away.
What's up, South City? It's Julissa, and I'm here with Danya. So, Danya, what are you expecting to see at Bell Game?
I'm expecting for the Bell to remain at home where it should be, and for them to play a good game.
And how do you like the homecoming game tonight?
It's amazing. I'm very proud of my team, and yeah.
Nice talking to you. Back to you guys up there.
Thanks, Julissa.
All right, Julissa, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Our person down there coming strong with the Raider blanket. Oakland Raiders being represented out in South San Francisco.
Well, it looks like the Raiders and the Niners might have done a role reversal. The Niners.
Vegas Raiders.
You know what? I think
sell that on eBay.
If Vegas takes the team, the Raiders should have to leave the history. They should have to leave the name. Just like what happened with Cleveland. When Cleveland left, they couldn't be when they went to Baltimore, they said, no. You can be the Baltimore Ravens, but you can't be the Baltimore Browns.
Right.
They should do that with Raider Nation. Raider Nation should remain in Oakland. That's my take.
They took it to L.A. already. I think it's already pre-packed.
They're going to move 3 times in 30 years to South City. 1st and 10 in Woodside territory. As they hand the ball off again to Colson Pua, who just doesn't want to go down.
And there's no mistake there. I could see all of the Wildcats not really falling for any of the misdirection there and just going straight for Pua. Well, they're like, we're just going to concentrate our firepower on Pua here. And if you want to give it to somebody else, go right ahead.
Number 60, Xavier Cruz, 5'10", 250. Looks like he's been set up on the middle there to sort of to see what they can do about Colson Pua. He was in on that tackle.
That's right.
All right, 2nd down and 6. South City starting a nice little drive here. 11:17 left here in the 4th quarter. Handoff to Solis. Solis bounces it across the left side. He's going to be close to a 1st down.
And Solis is another one of these guys who keeps on running. He gets the ball and he starts moving his legs, and he's another hard guy to take down. And he's relatively rested with Pua taking most of the workload this evening.
3rd and 2, I say give it to Colson Pua and just tell him to knock a bunch of people over and score another touchdown. Well, as they say, just because you know it's coming doesn't mean that you can stop it.
That's right.
Third and short for South City. Pua in motion. And that's an awesome design play. Looks like Woodside went ahead and focused all their attention on Pua, who was doing a little bit of a motion dance in the backfield. Right. And went ahead and hand off to Carlos Solis, who basically walked in for a first down. Nice way to draw it up, Coach Sadu.
Everyone was,
see what you did there.
Everybody was absolutely keyed in on that young man, to the point where he almost drew an offside on the play.
First down and 10 yards to go for the Warriors at the Wildcat 26-yard line.
There's Pua forcing his way up.
Yeah, it's Pua again, forcing his will. Did you see? I still can't get over that play for first down. That was fantastic. Put Pua in a short little motion and have him draw the attention.
They've been gashed enough by that young man tonight to get nervous as soon as they see him move a muscle.
That's right. 2nd and 3. South City on the 20-yard line. Or the 19, just inside the 20. Oh, okay. Puts the ball on the ground. Tyson Alapati, smart to just lay on it, not turn the ball over, not try to do too much with it. Lost 5 yards. It's better to lose 5 yards than to lose possession.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, John. A smart play and just fall on it. And you tend to take that sort of thing for granted. You know, the smart play, not the fancy play, which might have been to pick it up and try to make a miracle. But you got to respect these kids for their football IQ, football awareness. Clock. We're all shouting clock up here in the booth.
3rd down and 7.
All right, 3rd and 7. Actually back to passes Alapati. He's got a receiver wide open. Oh, in and out of the hands of Juan Barrero. The pass was there, and he was in for 6.
You know, Alapati was throwing to a strong side, but he still had to make kind of a jump throw. And geez, he put it right in the kids' bread basket, and it just didn't happen. But
got to make that catch. Unfortunately, that's too bad. It was nicely drawn up.
He's wide open.
You lull him to sleep with the run, and then boom, just when they least expect it, right over the top. It was a nice executed pass.
And that brings up a 4th down, John. So here we go. We'll see what the Warriors have up their sleeve for a 4th and about 6.
Alapati back to pass, almost taken down in the backfield, looking for room, doesn't have it, and he is sacked.
And that Wildcat sideline is fired up, John. The Wildcat sideline is fired up. You know, the Warriors had their defensive stop earlier, and this one belongs to the Wildcats. So it's tit for tat this evening, man. It's 2 well-matched teams, and like you said earlier, it's got this feeling like it's just going to come down to the last possession as the Warriors hang on to a 1-point lead, and now the Wildcats take over.
That was a big man, Christian Ochoa, 6'1", 290, and on the tackle. And you could definitely feel the momentum swinging. I mean, things are really starting to tighten up here. It's a one-point ball game here, and quarterback Joseph King here is cooler than the other side of the pillow. Fires that one out of the out in front of his intended receiver, Joseph Mejia.
Intended for number 16, Joseph Mejia. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Wildcats.
And of course, I'll play Captain Obvious here. South City looking for a big defensive stop.
That's right.
Though there's plenty of time left with 8:20 on the clock. Should be noted as well, Woodside's got all their timeouts. Oh, that ball was almost picked off. Joseph King put it in a good spot for his wide receiver, but number 11, Justin Morales, was right there.
Yeah, he was tight. Play broke down a little bit. Quarterback got loose. Seemed to throw it a little bit behind the receiver there, and almost threw an interception.
3rd down and 10 for the Wildcats.
Big 3rd down here.
3rd down. Wildcats have pretty much everybody stacked out. 4 wide receivers, 1 in motion across the middle. Nice pass. Hauled in by number 16. He's got plenty of room. The 10, the 5, touchdown. Wow. That was a laser beam across the field to Joseph Mejia.
And Joseph Mejia, John, did an incredible job there to pull the ball out of the air. I mean, it had to take a ton of concentration to pick that thing from the sky, come down with it, and quarterback hit him in motion.
That was a big-time play. That was a big-time pass. It was a big-time catch, and that was a beautiful pass. It was right there, caught it in stride, and took it right to the house.
So this ends up being a big point after here with the Wildcats up 5. I assume we're going for the 2 here.
King back. Fade pass to the corner of the end zone. Brought in out of bounds by their wide receiver number 2.
Oh, I don't know, John.
Adrian Julian Johnson. The initial call was no good.
And the Wildcat sideline there is pretty livid. They thought he came down with it. I mean, it's impossible for us to tell from up here. We have to rely on his word. But the sideline seemed to think that he got it. And referees getting an earful from that Wildcat bench.
Well, we don't have replay.
Not yet. That's coming. So that ends up being a huge play, right? So instead of being up 6, taking the point after, making it a 1-touchdown game.
I had to take the headset off there for a second. Mr. Orlich was giving me mess. I was responding very quickly to a text message from my lovely wife, Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
He looked at me. He looked very upset, and he called me a millennial. Looked down his nose
You
at
take
me.
that back, Mr. Orlich.
You know, us millennials, we're feeling very judged. As the Wildcats are up by 5, 39-34. Plenty of time. 8:04 remaining. Nice deep kick by Woodside. Hauled in by South City. On the 20. He's breaking it to the 40. Before he's pushed out of bounds around the 47-yard line. Juan Barrero with a nice run back there.
A great run back. It wrestles away some of that momentum from that big pass play and puts the Warriors in a good position here with about 8 minutes left to play a little bit more of the possession game, but more importantly, get a touchdown and get right back on top of this team. The band feels it, crowd feels it. It's Friday night.
And ball marked right inside the 50-yard line, just on the other side, right in South City territory. They're already on the doorstep here for Woodside. As a handoff to Pua, and he just, man, he's got a motor on him, doesn't he? He got a motor and a gas tank.
He's a bull.
He takes 7 yards there.
7-yard gain on the play.
And it's going to bring up a 2nd and 3. And
2nd down and 3 yards to go.
You know, as soon as he gets his feet moving, it's like he's got 5 yards already.
That's right. Before you look up, and he's already halfway to a first down. And Woodside, John, just not respecting the pass at all. Warriors motioned out 2 receivers, and the linebackers there didn't even budge.
Nope, nobody in the back. There's definitely no help over the top if South City does decide to throw a pass. Oh, that was a very interesting exchange there to Pua. I don't know if it was designed that way. It almost looked like he took the ball right out of the arms of quarterback Tyson Alapate.
Well, we're in a familiar spot that Woodside was in this last drive of theirs, a 3rd and long. So we'll see if the Warriors can get some success here. Don't know if they'll go to the air necessarily, but
yeah, you cut it to 2. You cut it to 2nd and 3, and I think you lose a couple yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I'm sorry, I thought they were pushed back further than they were.
3rd and 5, though. You definitely don't want this drive to end here. You got to convert this first down.
There's a reverse. Juan Barrero.
He's got
a blocker.
He's got the 1st and more to the 10. Cuts back to 5. He's in. Touchdown, Warriors. Oh, my goodness.
What a cutback by that young man. What a cutback by that young man. And we saw it earlier from Woodside, and now it's nice to see a Warrior with a little bit of a shake and bake there. Feeling the defender there running at him, just lets him go right by and waltzes in for the touchdown. So the Warriors here, I wonder if they're going to go for 2 and make it at least a field goal game.
That play was huge. bigly. It's bigly important.
It's bigly important.
It's huge. Why you gotta say shake and bake, man?
That's
You know
how
I'm hungry.
Shake and bake.
It's the fourth quarter. You know, Mom used to always make shake and bake chicken thighs with, get this, the scallop potatoes from the box. They were delicious. The scallop potatoes were delicious.
Good
I'm telling
move.
you. As I digress, South City's going to go for 2 here. Already up by 1. They want to go up by a field goal.
Pua's the guy you want to give it to, and I don't think they got it.
Looks like Pua was stopped right there on the 1-yard line.
Oh, geez, that's kind of shocking, to be honest with you, man. He's pretty much had his way up the middle this evening, so that's a big play. That's a big play here for the Wildcats.
Well, you know, a 2-point lead does you no good, really. So, you know, they went for the 2-point
No.
conversion.
Of course, it was the right play to make, but I'm a little shocked that it didn't work.
Well, folks, we're in the midst of a nail biter here. 6:26 left in the fourth, 40-39. Just to kind of give you an update here on the timeouts. South City's down to 1 timeout. Woodside's got all 3. You're really starting to get that feeling, like we talked about earlier. It's going to kind of come down to who's got the ball. Who's got the ball next? You know, it really kind of has all the makings of that kind of game. We don't have the stats on it right now, but I'm assuming Colson Puas ran for 576 yards.
1 million.
Sounds about right.
John, what do you give me for an onside kick?
I don't think you do it. Oh, God, I've been saying that, though. I wouldn't do it. Maybe I'm too conservative.
You got to expect the unexpected with the coach. I'm just trying to stay a step ahead.
Are you trying? But at this point, it's like expecting the expected.
So you're calling for just a straightaway.
Well, South City has onside. I believe that every kick has been an onside kick save for 1. But I just think you pin it deep. You got 6:26 left. You see if your defense can stop them.
That's right. John, who's my South City guy down here being looked at by an EMT on the sideline? You get a look at that number? Is that 37?
It's like 57.
57.
And it is indeed an onside kick. It's high and a little too deep as they pull it in at the 38-yard line.
And, John, it seems to me that Woodside had a conversation at the half, and it went a little bit like this. Expect the onside kick. When you get it, just sit down immediately. Right. Otherwise, you're going to get steamrolled by, you know.
Everybody.
A baker's dozen Warriors.
Well, that's a baker's dozen there, Ricardo.
That makes a baker's dozen for me, John.
All right, Woodside here looking to get underway. 6:25 left. Handoff. Brought down in the backfield. It's number 5, Marcellus Chester Riley. You know, Chester Riley's not a big guy, but I feel like the referees definitely blow the whistle real quick.
Well, you know what I think it is? I think he gets so low that his knee ends up touching the ground relatively quickly. But I was thinking the same thing you were there. They blew that whistle real quick, and there were a lot of Warriors back there waiting to inflict some pain on that young man.
Right, as Woodside lost 5 on the play. And now Chester Riley's gotten it all back and even more. Cuts it up the middle for a 20-yard gain. Takes it to the South City 45-yard line. You know, Woodside did a good job there. You know, while South City looked like they were still in the midst of discussing their coverage, and they went ahead and snapped it.
And Gerard Dezzuti there, the guard, just loving his running back, giving him that energy to keep on blocking.
Shotgun, snap, hand it off again to Chester Riley. This time nothing doing, short gain on the play.
So the Wildcats looking pretty balanced in the second half, abandoning the air attack thus far. But it has to be in the back of your mind considering how great they've been. And you know these DBs are getting tired. That has to be on their mind constantly.
2nd and 9. South City with a nice stop in on the tackle there.
Chester Riley.
Number 70. Urian Barraza.
Urian. There it is.
Urian. How did I do that?
Pretty good.
Urian.
Ooh, like ooh.
Ooh.
Urian.
Third and 8 for Woodside, looking to convert.
We're going to bring Urian's dad up here at some point, maybe for the Bell game, talk to him for a little bit. Juan Barraza, great South City Warrior, class of 2000, if I'm not mistaken.
Third and 7, Woodside. Joseph King back. Ball is up, and it is a nice reception hauled in by number 2, Julian Johnson. And, Juan Barreto was there, but he got mossed.
There's not much you can do there. I mean, the guy's got 6 inches on him at least. He's just got to stay sound, make the tackle, don't get beat. Just try to stay with him, and eventually ball's going to bounce your way. Force a mistake. We saw one of these long passes earlier turn into a fumble. You just got to be there and be ready.
4 minutes left. Woodside with the handoff, breaks it through. Oh, untouched into the end zone for a Woodside touchdown. Darnell Ellis.
17-yard touchdown run by number 9.
And Woodside reclaims the lead in just about a minute and 55 seconds.
Well, here we go, John. Do you go for 2 here, or you take the 1 and just be? I mean, you got to take the 1, right?
You go for 2 here.
Really?
Yeah, you got to go for 2.
I mean, it's already the Warriors already need a touchdown, right?
They need a touchdown and 5-6. Yeah, with the way it's been going, I think you still got to go for 2. I mean, you got to make it 7. Make it a 7-point game. You put even more pressure on South City if you get this.
Coach Andrews agrees with you as
Chester Riley is in for the 2-point conversion, and they go up by a touchdown and an extra point, 47-40 with 3:56 left here in the 4th. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, going up 5 or going up 7, 6, yeah, I'd say you go up by 7. That was my call.
Well, considering how high scoring this game has been, that 2-point conversion that the Warriors did not convert earlier kind of comes into focus for me, man. I thought that they were a lock that close to the end zone. But the Warriors have every right to be confident going into the series. Plenty of time left on the clock. They have 1 timeout left. They don't really have to think about that right now, and they've had success in several key aspects of this game. So.
Well, all the makings of a barn burner here, so it's...
Usually they say barn burner is sarcastically. Oh, a real barn burner.
Well, this is actually, the barn has been torched.
Unironic barn burner.
Unironic barn burner, 47-40. We've witnessed 87 points so far with 3:56 left. So, South City's in good shape. They've got the ball, and they're feeling confident with their run attack.
Low line drive kick there. Oh, wow. Look at him.
Wow,
that
cut
gear.
to the 40, the 50. Jesus Galvan.
And Jesus waited for his blockers to develop. And then when he saw his route, he went full steam ahead and gave the Warriors incredible field position to mount a drive here that has to end in a touchdown and a successful PAT, which is not a given.
That was huge.
That was great.
As they takes the ball into Woodside territory on their 49-yard line. 1st and 10 for South City. Last drive was stymied. They're hoping to get into the end zone this time.
Pua up the middle once more.
Colson Pua with some deep impact there. You can hear the hits all the way up here in the booth.
That's all right, you can. You really can.
Are you for or against the microphone they put inside the bag for the playoffs in baseball?
I think it's cool.
Yeah, they come
I
in,
like it.
hit the bag.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
I mean, I guess they have to reserve that for the playoffs, though. It adds a certain extra level. Can't do it during the season. All right, 2nd and 7 for South City. Side Woodside territory. Looking to establish a drive and get in. Kicked out to the right side. He's got room. Alapati to the 10. One man to beat. He's inside. Touchdown, Warriors. Wow. David Alapati turned the corner and turned and burned.
All right, John, that drive was all of 45 seconds?
Roughly, yeah.
I think
it was 51 seconds. We had 3:55 when South City took the ball, I believe.
And you get, the 50-yard run back and then a 3-yard gain and then a 45-yard gain. So maybe the Warriors scored too fast. And see if they decide to to go for 2 while they're down here. You just hope that they're not.
You got to kick it.
Wow, but they've had so much success on the ground here, you know. I don't think you should let the result of that last point after, you know, affect your thought process here. And the Warriors are going to do just that. They're going to go for 2.
Coach Jay Oka is melting down. I mean, they did not have the right personnel in there. Something happened. He screamed at Jesus Galvan, who quickly ran out onto the field. Ball's pitched back.
Oh.
Looks like it stopped short, but there's a flag on the play as David Alapati
That's a
trying to
hold
turn
on
the
the
corner.
Warriors, John. That's a hold on the Warriors. So they're not going to get it. They're going to need to make a defensive stop here, I think.
You got to kick that.
I don't think you do, man. You can't run rough shot all game
But
long.
then again, yeah, I mean,
and then get to the 2-yard line and say, well, let's kick it.
You know what? Also, to be fair, an extra point is not a sure bet.
No, not at all.
Clearly.
That's right.
It's going to be declined, of course, by Woodside. They don't want to give South City another shot.
Well, that's an odd play, John, because I feel like my guy got into the end zone.
In the game.
Well, your feelings are your own, Ricardo.
46.
I'm just being wishful thinking.
47.
And that's a lot of penalties tonight, John. They're going to kick themselves, you know, regardless of how this game turns out.
Speaking of kicking
both
themselves.
teams are going to kick themselves a little bit about missed opportunities. When the game is this close, you know, you start to overanalyze and you start to look at all your little mistakes that kind of add up.
Well, I'm having trouble breathing.
Well, that's not good.
I have had about 18 cups of coffee today, though. But onside kicker, no. I say you drive it deep. I've been saying that for the last like 3 or 4 kickoffs here. So.
And John, you guys can't see this right now, but Coach Matucci here is giving our band director a heads up, like go easy on the touchdown celebration dance here, and give them a chance to communicate for the point after. And frankly, I thought of that earlier. I looked over, and it's such a great song, and the band is 100 people deep, but it kind of caused a little bit of miscommunication there. And you know, they'll rectify that and move on. But it's a good idea to.
Well, I mean, it's a bad spot for the band director too.
Delay the band for a few seconds.
The band guys, the kids in the band, they're stoked, right? They're excited, and they want to show it too. And, and you know, there's just some miscommunication, and you know, I think it mattered that time. And Coach Matucci probably talked to the band because at that point it mattered, and it almost.
Well, yeah, just quite literally, I can't hear anything because the band is playing. So they'll figure that out.
No onside kick this time as they boot it deep.
And that ball's going to go into the end zone. And the Warriors are trying to kick it into that open space and see if they can make a play on it. As it stands, no time has gone off the clock here with 3 minutes remaining. The Wildcats have all their timeouts. They obviously don't want to use them right now, as they're going to try to run the clock out.
I mean, if you're Woodside, you're trying to score.
Well, yeah, scoring a 2-pointer effectively ends the game at this point.
So they've, you know, this up by 1. I mean, gosh, I'm losing my composure. This is a tight game. Handoff. Chester Riley cuts through. Oh, had a big hole there. Nice open field tackle, grabbing the jersey there. But David Alapati, because there was nothing but green, beautiful grass there in front of Chester Riley.
Made a nice play to grab by the jersey there and keep him from bouncing it to the outside, really doing some heavy damage.
Green AstroTurf in front of Chester Riley. Jim Orlich has gotten feisty in his retirement. He's correcting me. It's 3 times today, Jim. 3. Counting. All right, so we got a first down for Woodside, 2:40. They're gonna try to eat as much of this clock as possible. South City's only got 1 timeout remaining, but Woodside's got to be careful too. You know, if they they definitely want to score. They don't want to just eat this clock up. I mean, South City has already shown that they can score in as little as 45 seconds.
That's right. As the clock continues to run here, Coach Oka elects not to use his timeout just yet.
Check that 3-yard gain.
The Wildcats are going to let it run down as much as they possibly can here. They're going to wait for the man in the black hat to start doing the 5-second countdown dance.
All right, 2nd and 7 for Woodside. South City's got to come up here with a stop. Hand off to Chester Riley, corner, and that's a mistake.
Chester Riley does the Warriors a favor by running out of bounds.
And I think he realized that almost as soon as his foot stepped outside of the yard marker there. He knew it.
That's a break for the Warriors here. Wow. Wow. The coaching staff's probably got to throw their hands up and say, oh, man, got to stay in between the lines here. But we'll see if that throws off the Wildcats here a little bit as they all look to the sideline here for the play call.
Quarterback Joseph King looking in. It's 3rd and 7 for Woodside.
This is a delay of game. Are they calling a timeout?
Timeout.
And that is a timeout indeed. I mean, the clock was already stopped. They figured, you know what, let's get this sorted. So we don't get a first down here, we might be in some trouble.
So both teams will get a chance here to refocus. Obviously, the Wildcats is going to be stay in bounds, guys. Don't go out of bounds if you can. And keep the ball secure. And for the Warriors, it'll be, keep these guys in front of you. It's 3rd and 5. It's manageable. Got to watch out for the big play. Frankly, there's a lot these Warriors have to think about, considering how great these offenses have been on both sides tonight. The Warriors have a chance here.
All right, it's 3rd and 5. Looks like we got some clarification there on the board. So 3rd and 5, ball on the 43-yard line. You're starting to get the feeling that this is the game right here.
Absolutely.
1:46 remaining. South City looking for a big stop. Figure if it's anything close to a first down. Oh, he's keeping it. Joseph King's going to keep the ball.
And he's going to get the first down there.
Dove across to the 50 for a first down.
Quarterback gave up his body for that first down. Nice play by that young man. Caps off what has been a pretty good game for that kid.
There's some stunned disbelief going on here, not just on the field, but also in this booth. That 2-point conversion was really the game right there. If things remain the same and Woodside is able to, well, now they can basically eat the clock.
Timeout.
South City goes ahead and burns their final timeout with 1:19 left. At this point, there's hoping that something crazy happens. Maybe there's a fumble, a miscommunication.
It's
but basically, wait a minute. Woodside can go into victory formation, right?
Uphill. It's an uphill battle, to be sure, at this point. But, John, unfortunately, like you posited earlier in this game, it just ended up being who's got the ball at the end of the game, who's got the ball here. And it looks like it's going to be the Wildcats, barring something crazy happening. But, wow, what a game by both sides here. Somebody had to win it, somebody had to lose it. I think both teams take back a lot once they review this tape. They say you can't learn a lot from winning, but you can learn a lot from losing. But I think both teams will have a lot to talk about and correct.
Well, Woodside can only burn about 75 seconds off the clock here. It's 25 seconds per. Or say, leave you 5 seconds left, something like that. Crazier things have happened. You know what? I'm going to hold out hope. How's that sound?
Do it.
I'm going to do it. Going to hold out hope here. 1:19 left. Woodside up by 1. They kneel it down. It's going to bring up 2nd down.
There you hear Mr. Boyd calling our sideline report.
Intrepid sideline report.
Intrepid sideline report.
What a game here, folks. 39 seconds left. It's 3rd down. Another 25 seconds going to start here. Is that going to leave a second on the clock, maybe?
Maybe. It doesn't look like it.
Nah, it doesn't look like we're going to have enough time.
They're exchanging handshakes, John.
I've never been good at math. That's a bummer. All right, as the South City Warriors fall in a real heartbreaker to the Woodside Wildcats, 47-46. Came down to that 2-point conversion down there, Rick. Got to take your hat off to Colson Pua. Just a great game. Ran all over the place. But again, it comes down to quarterback for the Woodside Wildcats, Joseph King, who just, he was able to put the ball on the money every time, seemingly.
A heck of a game by that young man, by that quarterback, and he capped it off with that nice quarterback keeper and giving up his body for that game-deciding first down. Colson Pua should be extremely proud of himself. And really, both teams have a lot to be proud of themselves for in what ended up being a hard-fought game. Woodside's going to have a nice ride home here, coming away with the win. But both teams really showed well tonight, John. And I'm sorry to see the end of this night season go. It feels like it went super fast this year. There were like 5 Fridays in September, and we played 4 of those. It's all gone by too fast, which is why I'm proposing that the season be extended to 30 games, 15 home games, 15 away games, and give us a chance to do this more often. I think Mr. Boyd would probably not be in favor of that.
Well, I still can't believe that it ended like that. I was doing math quickly. I was trying to sort it out. I thought South City might have 4 or 5 seconds left on the clock, but unfortunately not. And anyway, it's unfortunate, but I'm going to say my goodbyes here in just a moment. We're going to go down to our intrepid sideline reporter.
We have
Kat Chavez.
Kat, go ahead.
I'm Catherine Chavez with the NFHS Live Network here with Coach Matucci from the South San Francisco High School Football. How do you feel about the game tonight?
Obviously disappointed. It was one of those games where we didn't really lose. We ran out of time. So we got to shore up our defense.
How do you feel the boys will take this coming into the Bell game?
They're a bunch of battlers. We've had a lot of disappointments this year. We should get our full strength of players back tomorrow. We were shorthanded tonight. That shouldn't be the case tomorrow. So going into the rest of the season, we should be pretty strong.
And one last question: how do you feel that your boys did tonight?
They played their hearts out, and that's all we could ask. So, like I said, losing a game like that, it's one of those ones we just ran out of time.
Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Kat,
right,
so
thanks,
much.
Kat.
And Coach Matucci's right on the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's how I feel. I feel like we ran out of time on this season.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Hey, guys, we can't do this. We can't do anything that we do, show up here and do these games, which we obviously enjoy doing, without the help and support of a lot of great people from South City High who run our cameras, who are sideline reporters, who are technical directors. Ricardo Martel, why don't you go ahead and take it away?
John, big thank you to Antonio Franco, Daniel Archuleta, James DiMacaulay, Danya Romero, Maria Gonzalez, Richard Yamyang, Kat Chavez, Julissa Vergara, Nico Caprio, Roberto Lopez, and of course, Mr. Boyd, the greatest of all time.
Aaron Boyd, into the South City family. We really appreciate it.
That's right.
We love doing this. We do it out of not just the kindness of our hearts, but because we really enjoy it. We want to give back to our community and give back to South City. We truly do love it here. We do love the sense of community. These young men played their hearts out tonight, and just as Coach said, they didn't lose. They simply ran out of time. 47-46. All right, folks. For Jonathan Dio here, Ricardo Martel for the NFHS Network. Man, I'm wiped. That got me. We'll see you next time for the Bell game, November 5th?
November 5th, Saturday at 2 o'clock, Mr. Boyd. That's at 1 o'clock. I think it's 2 o'clock.
All right, 2 o'clock.
We'll be there. And right now, join us for the post-game wrap at Jack's. Post-game wrap at Jack's.
Take care.